We're live!
I saw that.
Yeah.
Well, there we are. We're live now.
He's really cute. He's from hunting stock, and he's mostly black lab.
Mostly black.
Yeah, there's some terrier in him. Like the dad looks like mom or dad looks like a pit bull kind of, but mostly, yeah, that lab from his paws are giant and have just huge webs in them. So
Right.
definitely a the duck hunter.
Very cool.
Yeah, he's cute. His name's Black Phillip from The Witch.
Black Phillip.
Have you seen The Witch? That horror movie? Have you? Seen The Witch?
Oh, no.
It's really good.
I'm not a big
It's
fan
an
of horror
A24 film.
movies.
And it's about, like, they took diary entries from the Plymouth days and those civilizations, and they've got, like, a lot of, like, witchy shit in them, like this encounter that this one family had, and where their black goat was possessed by, like, a demon or Satan or something, and they called it Black Phillip. And so I came up with his name. Had to make it as weird as possible. Someone said, Black Phillip! Black Phillip! Black Phillip! Not racist, I swear.
Right.
I love it. It's in light of, like, all the BL and everything.
Right.
Totally swear it's from a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, I guess the word black now
Well, he's black. He is black. I ain't lying.
is
I ain't lying.
racist. Only thing I'll leave is green. It's a funny thing.
So we already got one comment.
Oh, yeah?
Saturday Night Sir says, still waiting to get a cross on my neck.
Okay.
Not sure what that is.
What?
Yeah, that's a problem with these handles. You never know what's... Yeah. You run. Did you run so far away?
I don't know. I only run when chased.
It's weird because it's delayed, so I'm like seeing my adjustment a minute afterwards.
All right.
In case you're curious what.
Cool. It's fun.
Got a few people watching. I don't know how good this will do because it's mid-afternoon and it'll either be a bunch of people or it'll be nobody. Or it'll be a few diehard fans. And then this will go into our regular YouTube thing, so it'll always be on there for prosperity.
Right on.
So if you ever want to look back.
For my diary.
There you go.
My diary entries. Dear diary.
When you have like grandkids, you can show when you were cool.
Yeah.
Look, Grandma was cool.
Right?
Grandma, everybody has tattoos.
Right, that'll be how it is.
Yeah, it probably would be too impressed with him, actually.
They'll never not be cool.
I thought I was going to be a rock star with my son, but he really doesn't give a fuck.
Sebastian.
Yeah.
How is he?
He's awesome. He's doing good. I just saw him the other night. He came over for some tacos.
Cute. How's your girlfriend?
Good, real good.
Good.
She's been taking Gracie to softball games the last couple days, so she's just been running like crazy.
Is that her daughter?
Yeah.
I used to play softball. I hated it.
He did?
Yeah, my mom made me stick it out. Thing.
Oh. He's not in the area. He's just like, I wish my tattoo shop was open. Still waiting to open for COVID. And then Marco M is from Costa Rica. Watching. So we got 5 people.
Is there sound?
Yeah. I don't know how good it is, but I'll find out when I actually do the playback and figure that out. So that's the part that's confusing on it. Yeah, it's posted as not for kids, so we're fine as long as you don't go to Lowe, like Jack does.
Do what?
You always do that. I've explained what the term blue means to you like 8 times now. I think.
It.
Yes, I have. I can pull up the Q&As where I've explained it to you during it. Blue is based off of the old days of burlesque. When the dancer would do their hot part of the whole thing, they would turn on the blue lights. So that's when a comic or somebody claims that they're going blue, it means you're going a little bit of risque.
I see.
This doesn't feel bad at all.
Good. Good.
I think with back tattoos, it's more the vibrations and breathing
Yeah.
sometimes.
I got one on the back of my neck recently by my friend, and it was uncomfortable. Because there's so many, like,
Nerve endings.
shit right now.
Yeah, the nerves are there to protect special things. Like your spinal cord.
Stupid spine.
No one got away with it. Wasn't for those sneaky spines.
Nothing can be worse than getting an epidural. Nothing. Absolutely nothing.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
I had a spinal tap. It wasn't fun.
Ooh.
Anesthesiologist just sitting there. So where'd you go to high school? This fucking hurts. Southeast Poke. Like,
Oh, you went to the farm? I'm sorry.
Graham, he went to Roosevelt and he's like, didn't somebody jump off the school? I'm like, no. He goes, why do they call you building hoppers? And I go, probably because so many kids killed themselves out there, but nobody jumped off the school.
No,
Where
but
do you hear that?
there was an in-school shooting there.
Yeah,
That
at
was
the
back
old
in
high school.
Back in the 80s.
Yeah. I
It
was
does.
excited to go to the old high school for that reason. And they built the new one, and I was a freshman at that time. I'm like, God damn it. I
See,
wanted to
if
do
I
some
would've
Ouija
lived-
shit up in here.
If I would have lived across the street, I would have gone to Southeast Poke. Which
Really?
means I probably wouldn't be able to date anybody in my class because I'm a Brady and I'm related. At that time, like half the population of Southeast Poke, it seemed like.
Yeah.
There's like over 50 of them out there.
Yikes.
Yep. So have our family reunions at Thomas Mitchell.
Oh, gosh.
Catch crawdads in the creek.
I used to do that when I was a kid. My mom used to take me down there and we'd catch them for her class. She used to be an elementary school teacher at Adams.
Your mom did?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, she taught 5th and 6th. Miss Saunders.
Well, I'm going to do what you can't do during a tattoo, and that's have a cigarette.
Nice.
Okay.
It just feels like you're dragging your nail on my skin. It's so weird. It doesn't feel like anything. I love it. I've got some really cool tin signs like you have in here. I should bring you some.
Yeah.
There's so many of them. I can't hang them up everywhere. And they're annoying to hang up too. I don't know why those. You want them sometimes you want to sit all flat. If I have them in my kitchen, so I'm like 4 nails each. Trying to
Where
get
did
them all
you get
straight. True Value.
Yeah.
Graham's dad's the manager there, and he gave me a big catalog, and
Ah,
I
nice.
just kind of ordered a bunch of them. Yeah. Collected them after a while. They're like all from China though, so sometimes I think we talked about this. The spelling and like the words are all
Yeah,
jacked up.
jumbled. Sometimes they come up with some hilarious shit though.
I know. Like big fucking sale. Riding your motorcycle all around, so nice. It's been so nice.
Yeah, finally getting a little writing letter here and there.
Yeah. Doing any like Sturgis or anything this year?
Yeah, I'm going on a trip. I'll be there before it actually kicks off.
Wow.
But yeah, going to Colorado and then picking up some friends, and then they're gonna ride with us on the February. looking forward to that. The South Dakota's not a bunch of pussies.
You want a cord.
Would you mind grabbing me that
Sure. You're welcome. Ugh. Ugh.
see the class that I did?
Mm-mm.
So I was the star art student in high school. Angry as kids. I had to cover it up, like as I was painting it, it was just staring at me all the time. I couldn't stand it. It's very big. It's massive. Your candy is out there, you know.
Oh,
They're big ones, like this massive one. You probably want them. Little tops on it. People like their pets.
indeed.
There's a market for that. Yeah. I'll paint all your pieces. Make Christmas cards. Just this pussy painting.
Yeah, that's something.
Mm-hmm.
Just sharing on the interwebs.
What?
I
Oh,
had to do it. It was an impulse. I had to itch it.
One of these days, I want to remember to have you add me as an admin on Skin Kitchen site or Facebook page.
Oh, yeah.
One of these days. Doesn't come up that often. So it'll either post there or it won't post there. We'll see. Leela says hello. Hello, Leela.
Oh,
Hi, Leela. Reminds me, I think we're making a live action Lilo and Stitch.
What is it with Disney doing everything is live action? They really, you lost a lot with the story with the Lion King. I don't know. It just
wasn't.
wasn't.
John Favreau, he's obsessed with redoing all this shit. It's regurgitated. It's like horror movies that are getting redone. That
They've been redoing horror movies. I mean, that's every sequel of Friday the 13th, a remake of the first one.
yeah, pretty much.
The first one to die are going to be of color or having sex. Every single one of them.
Moral people.
Yep. The moral ones go first.
Goddamn government shoving those morals down our throat.
Right, getting people killed.
Then there's like terrible movies that shouldn't be remade.
Like what?
Like all those I spit on your grave.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that was a graphic, disgusting movie to begin
I saw
with.
the first one, right? It was like her getting revenge on all those guys. Was that it? Yeah. Yikes. That was terrible.
And they're remaking Valley Girl as as a musical.
Oh fuck.
And Legally Blonde.
Yeah. I didn't ever watch the first one.
I barely watched it. Talk about it. I see you bend and snap around here all the time. Don't lie to me.
What?
I'm saying I see you bend and snap around here all the time. Picking stuff up off the floor, trying to look all sexy.
Yeah, showing a little cleavage.
Yeah.
Yeah, it helps with tips, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody told me it's the wrong kind of cleavage, though.
Ooh.
A lot of preferences out there these days.
Yeah, I know.
Don't put yourself in a box like that.
I'm a heterosexual bear. I can't help it.
I've got a freaky friend that's on a lot of like kink sites and stuff, and we were talking about this lady that does accounting for Graham's irrigation company, and she's like this older lady, and she's got this big old tattoo on her back, and she's like asking me all these like really specific questions about it. I'm like, yes, yeah, that is her name. Mm-hmm. Yes, it is a big phoenix on her back, and she's like, she's on a bunch of kink sites. I'm like, cool, thank you. I will never look at her the same again. I'll never be able to just like look at her and not think about her.
Yeah, and that's one of the disadvantages of the internet is you can find out so many things you don't want to know about people. You know, we all know our parents had sex at some point, but we don't want to picture it. See, once we get the full setup, we'll have like 3 cameras going at once. Since people stop buying it, keeping them out of stock, the ATEMs. I did.
Cameras?
Basically, all the streaming stuff has just gone out of stock because everybody's stuck at home and all these broadcasters had to run out and buy stuff. Yeah, it was amazing when they first did it and you're watching some of the streams and some of the videos they're posting. I'm like, did you guys do this on your iPhones? I mean, you guys didn't have like $20,000 portable cameras laying around. You know, you do have a news organization somewhere.
No shit. Would it be okay if I put my legs out and like in front?
Yeah. Yeah, whatever.
Oh yeah. Up to doctor. Please, more pillows. There's no more for any other women in the ward, okay? I'm taking all the pillows. Yes. No, you don't.
Well, that's one thing you can never have enough of is pillows.
Yeah. Well, that and toilet paper.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I was at CVS and this lady was stocking bottles and bottles and bottles of wine into her cart. And I look over and she looks at me and she goes, "In these times, I stock up on alcohol." And I'm like, yeah, I don't know why everybody's buying up all the toilet paper. And I mean, an upper respiratory infection doesn't cause you to violently shit yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And she goes, "Actually, it does. And I had COVID. And you do shit like poop a lot." I'm like, "That's really great, wino lady. And I will never see you again ever, but that's what I'll remember about you.
Right.
I will remember you forever."
You drinking a bottle of wine sitting on the shitter.
Right? I'm crying. Like, cool. Cool.
Oh, she's classy. She drinks it out of a cup.
Styrofoam.
Yeah. If she's
Like
buying the
chips.
bottle, she's high end. You got to get down to the box wine to really be a true wino.
Just the big
That's when you know you've made it.
Yep. That way you just hook up a hose to it and just instant entry.
Yeah. Good idea.
Just pour that right down your throat. Make a hat out of it.
Yeah, shape it to your
You're
head.
siphoning gas. But you're drinking it. I love gas. Some wine does taste like gas.
Yeah. Yeah, Mad Dog 2020. I know more people that have suffered from alcohol poisoning on that stuff than anything else. I don't know why.
You
It's
hang
just
out with people with no money.
punk rockers.
There you go.
What's the
Bitch, I'm
cheapest
rock and roll.
buzz we can do?
Yep.
A little bit of Robitussin and some no-dos. I knew a kid that ended up in the hospital on that concoction.
Oh, yeah. No surprise.
Ended up with stomach ulcers.
Ah.
Because the nose dose, the caffeine pill just ate through his stomach because he took so many of them.
I love drugs. I love drugs. No, just caffeine pills. I don't do drugs.
I love acid. And here we end up Super Troopers. I love acid. Cops are standing right there.
That's another show that shouldn't have had a sequel.
Yeah, I heard
Yeah,
that sequel.
Yeah, it was pretty dumb.
I didn't see it, but I didn't hear good things.
Now, the best movie I've seen in recent years is probably Midway.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that. I didn't think about that.
Have you guys seen The Wrong Missy
Mm-mm.
on Netflix with David Spade and Happy Madison? Oh, fuck, it's so funny. So funny. All of his
Oh,
movies are,
yeah.
though.
I think I saw that. He's like, what?
She's like a real goofy, tall, like,
Yeah.
like crazy bitch. And she ends up
Oh,
being, like,
wait,
super
yeah.
awesome.
He invites like the really, really nice, like perfect
The real hot
match
chick, yeah.
on
Yeah.
vacation with him,
But
and
their
then
names are both Melissa,
Yeah.
and he saves it into the wrong thing, and oh my god, it's so funny.
I had that problem.
She's so funny. Oh my god, she's the guard in Orange is the New Black, but she's so underrated.
Yeah.
And she's definitely just meant for comedy. I love that.
No, and then Sanders just put out like a drama, which was really disappointing. He's like a jeweler that
Uncut
works with.
Gems?
Yeah, that was
Oh
terrible.
my god, it was so terrible. It was an A24 one though, and all of those movies have just the longest drawn out scenes. Some of them are terrible, and some of them are super good. All the 4 movies that are A24 are really great. That sucked.
What's A24 mean?
This is a production company. Hereditary. The Lynch.
They're not quite B
Midsummer.
movies, but they're smaller productions. Like this was done in probably 6 sets. Yeah, not a lot of actors, not a lot of and it's a stretch for him because the whole time you're just like, as a dramatic person, you just hate him,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and it's just like I don't know, he just can't pull it off.
There's just so much chatter. You know, it's almost like they wanted to portray it like real life,
Yeah.
And not have the you say something, I'll say a line, I'll say a line. Everybody was just talking over each other, and it was just a bunch of bullshit, just enmeshed in one 2-hour movie. I
had to
it,
watch.
I was like, oh my god, I'll never get this time back.
I had to watch it in 2 settings.
Yeah.
2 or 3. So I kept going, oh, I'll finish it, and then something else would come up. And
I felt like I had to watch it because of Adam Family, but I was very disappointed. I was at the end, I'm like, thank God.
yeah, it's
time.
over. Yeah,
Thank
we don't want to
you.
ruin the ending for anybody,
No,
but yeah,
right.
the ending was probably the most positive thing in the entire movie.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think
totally.
he's going to get away with it.
Now you have to put, when you put it on YouTube, spoiler alerts.
Yeah.
No excuses. Everybody's at home and everybody's got Netflix, so sorry, Charlie.
Yeah.
Watch it. You don't have no excuses no more.
Yeah, the new season of F Family hit last night. I watched some of those.
What was it?
F is for Family.
Oh, yeah.
I haven't watched that yet. I've seen it pop up.
It's pretty funny. But as somebody who grew up in the 70s and was around parents that were like that, it's a little bit more funny, I think.
Is it like that 70s show, or is it
Oh, it's more
dirty?
It's more Family Guy-ish.
Okay.
Not like witty meant to be, but more angry, a little bit more angst, a little bit like, yeah, my dreams are
Jaded
dead
shit.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
Which was pretty much all the parents in my childhood. They acted happy, but reality was they were all miserable and getting, most of them ended up divorced.
That's not around anymore?
Not to the level it was back then. Well, I mean, it's funny because, they show people smoking at doctors' offices and, at ball games getting drunk and yelling at the kids and all that. Yeah, that stuff all happened when I was a kid. Like, the coach smoked like 2 packs a day at every little league. Every time. And they do it right in the dugout right next to all the kids. Yeah. And drink a beer while they were doing it. Some usually sexist-related cozy over it. Yeah, class acts.
Sure, like Bad News Bears.
Yes.
Yeah, I love that movie.
The original, not the remake. The remake was I love Billy Bob Thornton, but he's not.
That's one I've seen. I haven't
He's
seen.
not He's not Walter Matthau. The original one's so much better.
I'm a baby.
Yeah, it's in this. Yeah.
Not really.
There was remakes of that. Then there were sequels, and the sequels weren't quite as good.
Mid-20s. Not kidding anymore.
Yeah, I know I'm old. I'm 50.
Damn it.
1. Oh, you're not an adult till you're 25.
I am 25. Woohoo!
You can't consider yourself an adult until you can rent a vehicle. And I don't mean at the water park or at the go-kart track.
You gotta be 21 to buy tobacco now.
Yeah. Pretty soon you'll have to be. They'll move it up to 25, then they'll scoot it up to 30.
I couldn't believe that. I saw that like a sticker at the store. I'm like, no way. Man, I just missed it.
Mm-hmm. You snuck that one.
Totally, Kyle.
But it transferred to vape too, I think. That was the biggest thing is they were letting all these kids that are 16 years old buy non-nicotine, and they're all smoking this stuff, and it's like, well, yeah, there's the addiction of nicotine, but part of it is that sucking things into your lungs that you're not supposed to and blowing it out.
Right.
It's like meditation, at least it is for me.
The oral fixation.
Mm-hmm.
Starting that early.
So they're training these kids to smoke.
Essentially, yeah.
In a much more aggressive way than Joe Camel ever did.
Nicotine addiction? Ew. Nicotine addiction with mango? Okay.
I'll take it.
Okay.
Does it make me smell like cotton candy?
I mean, at least they don't smell like shit. But,
Until you're in a bar where they sit there and they smoke those things nonstop.
I hate when people do it inside.
Yeah.
It's so much more, even if it's not.
Partly because if somebody smokes a cigarette, it'll take about, 7 to 10 minutes to finish a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
When they're vaping, they never stop. They don't take breaks. They just keep vaping and vaping and vaping.
Because it's there. It's just there all the time. You have a cigarette, and when it's gone,
Yeah.
you're like, okay.
There's no limited quantity, I guess, in the juice they put in them. But
those are like those big rigs that they get are so dangerous. The chemicals in the actual like flavored juice themselves. That's what causes that popcorn lung.
Yeah.
Is what it's called. And there's other ones that have vegetable glycerin in them and other stuff like that.
Sarah Cano, I believe that's how you pronounce her name, says hello. Hello, Sarah. Yeah, Cano. Yeah, Cano, right? Cano?
I feel like we might be friends on Facebook, not sure.
Yeah, if they're friends with me, I don't know who they are. I love that when people I know go, well, you know who that person is. You're friends with them on Facebook. And I'm like, yeah, them and 13,000 other
That means a
people.
lot. It's a really substantial relationship.
It's like I remember 20 of them, so that only leaves about 1,280 people I kind of know.
Yeah. I deaded my Facebook. I can't take it.
I can't. I'm in business. I use it too much for work.
I know. I had it when I was doing aesthetics, but
It'd be easier for me to get out of the mafia at this point.
they never really go away. I mean, you deactivate it, try to delete it, you're still there.
Am I making her laugh too much? Okay. I don't want to be the guilty party.
Your
Shame.
name.
You're gonna have to ring the bell. Yeah, ever since Game of Thrones, every time I hear a bell ring, I hear shame,
Yeah.
shame.
Jack Black did a super funny YouTube video of himself where he went and bought a sword, like a styrofoam one. He went on top of his parking garage and he did the voiceover. And he's like, din, ticka, din, ticka, din, and did the whole intro with just his stupid voice. It's so funny. You gotta go watch it on Jablinski Games. This is his YouTube channel.
Have you seen any of his the stuff he did with the band Off?
No.
They're hilarious. This guy, basically, Off is like it's Keith Morris's and the Circle Jerks and Black Flag. It's old punk rock stuff, but it's just like really aggressive. It came out about 10 years ago, but they did a bunch of hilarious videos, and he's in like 3 of them that are just. Also, the guy that was on. I can't think of his name. He's one of the Kids in the Hall guys, who's on talk radio. You know what I'm talking about, Jack? You're old enough to remember. He was like the manager guy on talk radio with Phil Hartman. He's in a couple of them, and a bunch of punk rock like type people. But yeah, every one of them is just totally hilarious. He plays like a flight, like a parachute instructor. In one of them. And then another one, he plays like this, like they do it like a 70s like showdown kung fu thing, and there's tons of blood. And yeah, look those up. Off. It's a.
That dude does not age. Jack Black looks exactly like he does with the salt and pepper beard that he did in School of Rock. It's crazy.
Well, you know, he gets that work done.
Yeah, and I'm sure he has like
all that adrenochrome.
he's got like an incredible diet.
All that baby blood. Oh, give me the baby blood.
And I'm sure he's got some people helping him.
Oh, yeah. But he doesn't look like he's had any work done.
That's the right way to do it.
Yeah,
I'm sure he's dyeing his hair somewhat or something.
Game, you know?
Maybe he's just blessed.
I'm just blessed.
Could be.
He just popped up in a Gorillaz video.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. He is.
Yeah, he seems to like to just do stuff when people ask him. I mean, it's kind of got that Bill Murray effect, you know,
I
where
want to hang out with him all the time.
well, like Bill Murray would just show up at places randomly.
Mm-hmm.
There's actually, I think it's still on Netflix. It's a documentary about him
Really?
doing that.
Murray
Yeah.
stories or
He just, show up at bars and hang out until somebody recognizes him. Show up at people's houses.
I would
parties, stuff like that. You know,
I would do that if
I
I was famous.
I heard a story. I know you probably heard it too, where the guy was like sitting eating dinner or whatever in a restaurant, and Bill Murray comes up, grabs like a piece of his food, eats it, and looks at him and goes, "No one will believe you."
That's awesome. That's super funny.
And we did get Sarah's name right.
You did or didn't?
We did. Yay us! She even applauded.
Yay us.
And gave us one of those emoji. I'm too old to understand things.
You get hip there, though.
Uh,
Ruining our street cred.
So far, your homework is
I try to watch TikTok.
understanding, legally blonde, bend and snap practice.
Write this down.
I try to watch at least 15 minutes of TikTok a day. I still don't get it.
Oh shit, I've never been on that.
You're old. I remember saying to my kid, they're all like 20, 21. And like one of his friends is like, I'm like, so, you know, you see that on TikTok? And his friend's like, what's TikTok? And I'm like, oh, dude, man, you're old.
That's so funny. That's awesome. Are you doing gray? You should like go through his hair.
Yeah.
I think I see a gray hair.
He's a nice kid.
Just not real plugged into the social app.
No, not much. I don't
Good.
think.
Yeah,
Nothing wrong with that.
That's actually a good thing.
He's in college. He doesn't have time for it.
That's adorable.
Yes.
He's gonna be such a good husband one day.
But
I don't even know what a dating site is.
Tinder, I thought it was something you used on meat before you barbecue.
What's a grinder? Also, I thought that was meat related.
Well,
kind of. Yeah.
A meat grinder?
What's the other one? Bumble?
Bumble?
So you're bumbling into
Fishbowl?
people? Yeah, fishbowl. Plenty of fish or whatever that
Doesn't
was.
sound like there's a lot of options there in Fishbowl.
And you'd think it would be easy pickings.
I've never done the dating apps. It stresses me out.
Well, you can do it on Facebook now.
Really?
Yeah, just Facebook dating.
Yikes. Right?
I met one nice lady on there. But it was during COVID, so it was just weird and awkward. Because I didn't really know what she looked like, and she didn't really know.
That sounds successful.
I don't know. And then we just kind of ghosted one another. We're both workaholics, so it's not like a good combination. I'm sure that we would have just worked perfectly together.
Wow.
Ships passing in the night for 20 or 30 years.
I'd love to see a romantic comedy made out of that story.
But
So
yeah.
the end is just like, you just ghost.
Yeah,
You
it's
just
like
drift away from each other.
no, one of you
End
dies.
credits.
One of you dies, and then the kid shows up and goes, "Well, I'm here to pick up my father's effects," and the wife's like, "Your father's effects? Well, yeah, we buried him yesterday."
I thought he was still in Connecticut.
I've been traveling for work. But yeah. I'm happy to be single. I get to watch what I want on television whenever I want.
What do you watch?
Whatever I want. And I get to play video games whenever I want. Call of Duty. I've been playing some Civilization 6, which is weird to play on PlayStation.
Okay.
And yeah, that's about it right now. I really want
Civilization 6, so is that like...
It's a turn-based game where it's totally geeky.
It's that old game where you had to play in school and it was like
I
the
know
caravans and
the games we had in school, they were made of paper and cardboard. So
It was
yeah.
a really old computer game that we had to play, and it was like you built a civilization. God, I can't remember what it's called.
Sim
though.
City?
No, it was at school. It was like
Or Sim City.
It was like a historical game, and you had like horses and caravans
Oh,
and stuff.
Oregon Trail, and
Yes,
people kept
Oregon
dying,
Trail. Yes.
and everybody died of dysentery.
I'm gonna miss you. I'm gonna miss you when your caravan goes to the next town.
Now this you do more of like you have to develop scientific research, you have to develop the social side of the society. You can build up armies and then invade other civilizations. It's like the average game's 20 or 30 hours long.
Damn, Graham plays stuff like that, like on his phone.
So I couldn't do that on a
You know
phone. It drove me nuts.
Like gets in there and sees who attacked his base. And I'm like, damn.
I got stuck into one of those one time, and then I started buying all the add-on crap.
Oh,
and I
no,
realized
you
I
got
was blowing like
con.
literally $70 a month on this stupid game.
Oh my god. That'll get you.
Suck your ride and.
Yep.
You better buy this package, or a bunch of Chinese tomboys over there are gonna start invading you and killing you, and
You don't want that, do you?
they get paid. To
Yeah,
game,
because
okay?
they would send you notifications on that, like your village is being attacked right now. You
I
need
know.
to, and to play it, you had to pay coin to play it, and it was all
You're busy, you're seeing it on your phone lighting up and getting
Hey.
all stressed out because you can't check it and attack people.
Wesley
Or
just
running
gave us the
around. Graham
thumbs
does that
up.
same thing.
Right.
Hey, Wesley. See you later on today, Sir.
Seer.
Shira.
The shop seer. This tickles.
Yeah.
Yes.
How much you charge?
You're hitting a fun spot.
It's all tickly.
So right around the kidney area, or what we think the kidney area is.
Whoever that thing is.
Below the kidney.
Yeah, I got a little bit of touchiness down there. I did my back a million years ago.
You look good. What kind of skincare do you use?
It's all about smoking cigarettes and drinking imported beer.
Sounds good.
And
Make
eating
myself a
whatever
pack
you
up
want.
after this.
There you go.
And a thing of Mad Dog 2020. And I'll be back to hang out.
Where'd your customer go? Oh, she's on the beer run.
She's really cool.
Yeah.
I was going to bring a beer for tonight. Hey, we need to get a hold of Lady about coffee, because she hasn't given us anything in a
I
while.
know.
I'll go get you guys coffee. I have no job.
Hey. Yeah.
Well, see, we have a sponsor, supposedly, that's supposed to provide coffee that hasn't provided coffee.
Yeah.
Probably
okay.
because we haven't contacted her and asked her for coffee, but
Probably.
nonetheless.
Damn her for not thinking about you.
Have you seen those guys since post-COVID?
I've talked to David a couple times.
Okay. So they're okay
I know
then.
they're alive, yeah. Just, I guess we're staying hunkered down because of everything. But yeah, I need to get together with them soon. I haven't seen the guy in a while. It looks like.
I'm the worst with faces and names if I only meet them once.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty bad at it too. Which isn't real good when you're walking around the town with these tattoos.
I know, right?
I know. I'm terrible at it, and I get people. So nobody should ever be offended if I look at them like, I don't know who you are, but hi, how you doing? I'm like my
I
dad.
put your name in my phone, okay? I don't know how to spell it.
What's
My
your
move.
last name again?
Oh, that's usually my move if I see some
Yeah, you hand the phone
person
to
from
him.
high school like at the bar, you know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, let's get together. It's genius. I'm an evil genius, damn it.
That sounds like a couple third dates I've
Pretty
had.
accurate from what I can tell. So the evil part's pretty accurate from what I can tell.
Yeah, I can't shake it.
Right?
I just can't shake
I
it.
am who I am.
And that's all there is. I is what I is, and I am's what I am's.
I'm not happy unless I'm slightly messing with somebody's life. Like right now, Graham's brother, he's in California, but his Netflix profile pops up with all of ours, right? And every time he changes his name back to Jonathan, I'll change it to Fart.
You know, a better way to get back at him, because I used to say this to my kid occasionally, who I know is not watching because he never pays attention. I would go in his profile and like things I knew he didn't like.
Oh, that's hilarious.
So then he would pull it up, and everything in his like
suggested
was all like romantic teen comedies and all this stuff.
I love it. That's a good one. Yeah, that's a good idea.
His revenge tactic was when we shared Spotify was changing the music over to hip hop when he knew I was working.
Oh no.
Or R&B.
Just a bunch of trash, hot trash.
Uh-huh.
You're like bobbing your head, but like, this is shitty.
What we like for
Tap, 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 tap.
I don't care how many facial tattoos they have.
Oh my gosh. What is it with the basement looking face tats with these 28-year-old rappers?
Right.
Because they're free.
Yeah.
I guess.
They think that's the best tattoo. Plus, they're trying to look hard, like they've been to prison or something.
Make like a cool million, like real quick, and they got these tattoos that just look like garbage.
Yep. And they continue to do it.
What's that? That 6ix9ine has what's his name? Jigsaw tattooed on
I
his
have
face.
no idea.
From Saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's got it right there on his face. That rainbow rapper is what I call him. Mr. Skittles. Oh, I hate him so much. His voice, I can't stand it.
I don't think I've ever really heard anything he's done.
Don't. It'll get in your brain forever.
Oh, that good, huh?
Nope, not bad.
Nope.
Sounds like the stuff that Tina listens to.
Right.
Oh, the girls love it when they're playing this one. I don't know. Everybody I know complains about it.
How about you play something everybody likes, not just that girls like? I don't know. Just saying.
Yeah.
I mean, I like girls and all, but there are some that like other types of music.
Other than Post Malone.
Right.
That's all I hear when I hear Post Malone. He does that thing with his voice all the time where he goes,
You mean auto-tuning?
Well, he does it like on purpose. And when he sings, he's like,
so it's
I
like
love when it goes.
So it's like he's singing
It's like
through
he's
a
shivering all the
fan.
time. Yeah.
Yeah, just bring the fan out. I'll sing through the fan.
I know.
Nobody's ever done that
exactly
before.
That reminds me, that just put Chris Farley in my head where he's like, lead light, low, lead light. And Tommy Boy. Richard. I haven't seen that in forever. That used to be one of my favorite movies when I was younger.
All right, time is
Prolongs your life. That's what I heard.
Huh?
It prolongs your life is what I heard.
Yeah. Doctors recommend it.
Yeah, totally. Oh my gosh, I've never had to sit so still while I've been so tickled.
St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you're just gonna have to wait, 'cause I gotta have another cigarette. Pop that thing to death. Well, St. Peter at the Golden Gate, you're gonna have to wait.
I love the free concerts I get when I come here to
Yeah, well,
every time.
We're full service.
It's fun.
Yeah, we're out there changing the oil in your car right now.
Really? It needs it. It just told me that I needed to change it on the way over
Yeah,
here.
there you go. Yeah, all
How'd you know?
Mm-hmm.
Grim will probably pop in soon. That's okay.
That's cool.
It sucks. My feet are cold, but I'm hot all over. It's so weird.
I just have that effect on girls. Yeah.
Cold feet.
Yeah.
I knew it.
Yep, that and running away spontaneously.
You have like a little GoPro on your head or something. What
I
you're
know.
doing?
No. I'm working on that.
Oh, it's like bam, here it is.
Yeah. I've been seeing this thing that you hang around your neck and your cell phone connects to it so you can record stuff with your cell phone.
Do you think the hanging device would like flip forward and bump you though?
I
big is it?
don't think so. Depending on what you were doing and
Get a choker.
was
Just get a choker.
Right.
Right there.
I don't think
That'll
I'd
be
my
sexy.
beard. I'd have to shave.
Oh yeah, no, just
Yeah.
tie it around your beard. There you go. Just
Yep.
tie it together.
There it is. Yeah, I can't find the bag that has my 2 GoPros in it. And then I have like one of those GoPro Maxes, the 3D one, or the 360-degree ones, which are.
I think we
pretty
have some
expensive.
GoPro stuff that Graham was trying to get rid of if you're interested in it.
Oh yeah, what generation?
Not at all, let me ask. I'll just ask him to bring the lot so you can see it if you want
Yeah, that'd be cool.
any of it. Yeah. Hey. Huh? Huh? Oh. Okay, hey, do you still have all that GoPro shit? Have all of that GoPro shit? Can you bring it? Just bring the lot of it, just to see if Jack is interested in any of it. We're just chatting about that kind of thing. So if you could bring it, that'd be cool. Don't forget my little like bralette thing. Amazing, thank you. Sweet, thanks. Bye, love you. Yeah, cool. I caught him right before he left home.
Word.
He says it's not GoPro brand, but it's good shit. Like I've seen the video off of it. He says it's not GoPro brand, but you can look at it
Yeah.
and give you
What
probably
you
a.
just
I mean, he'll probably just give you some shit. He's been hanging on to it for a really long time. You can just test it out and see what you think.
Right on.
If you want to get creative and hide little skulls in the middle of the flowers, you can do that. Little rock and roll.
Word.
Little images you want to hide in there.
All right. Make sure to put an I Love Jack in there somewhere.
All right, sounds good. You gotta put your signature on somewhere, right?
Yeah.
It's like a library in here.
I know. Well, I can't mute it because of this thing.
Yeah, that's
Let's
okay.
shut it down. Oh, shoot.
I'm mad. I'm just gonna tell everybody I'm getting a tramp stamp today.
Yeah. Why hide it?
So I thought about it really hard, everyone.
Right.
Just decided to go with the tramp stamp.
It speaks to me. I decided to let my trampness go. Let it out. Be proud of my trampness.
I'm gonna go flit around the trailer park.
There you go. Hey, there's a couple truck stops out by my place. You could probably do pretty good.
A couple long ass CVS receipts is my ribbons. Can't tell you how many times I've just jumped out in the parking lot of CVS after they printed me like a scroll of a receipt and be like, have you ever gone in there and oh my god, the receipts are like this freaking long.
Really?
Yeah, they've got all these coupons on them. I just act like a ribbon twirler in the Olympics.
Maybe you found your calling.
I probably did.
Yeah.
That's how it happens.
That's how it happens.
Thank you, CVS.
Yep.
Promoting health.
Realize your dreams.
CVS just up the street from us got robbed recently, the pharmacy on Rohe there.
Yeah.
And Graham, right after it got robbed, Graham pulled into the parking lot to go grab something, and the cops were outside, and the cops stopped him. We're in there all the time. They know us by our face, and the cops were like, you look a lot like the person that was just here.
Yeah, I was thinking you guys were looking for me, seeing as I just robbed the place, so I thought I'd come back.
And the lady that was checking out and everything, she's like, oh no, this is a regular customer, this is Graham, like she even knew his name and everything, yeah. And the cop's like, I don't know. Graham's like, do you not have security footage or nothing to know that it's not me? Did you even watch it?
Oh jeez.
He came back, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, nah, he almost got arrested for nothing.
Right. Yeah, I had that happen to me when I was in high school. I was just sitting out front of, I think it was a Hardee's, waiting for my buddy to get off. We were going to go through around or something, and just sitting there waiting for him to get off his shift, and all of a sudden all these cop cars just pile in around me and block me in my spot.
Oh, shit.
A couple car doors open on the cop cars. Cops get out on their knee with their guns drawn.
Oh my gosh.
Get out of the car! Put your hands on the hood! And I'm like, what the fuck is going on? So they got all their lights just pointed right in my eyes. I can't really see nothing. It's just, I don't know, there's probably 5 or 6 cars all just pointed at my car because I was backed into the parking spot, so I was facing out there stall. And so I get out of the car, and they make me stand in the middle of basically the ring of lights, all these cars parked pointing at the, and this girl gets out of the back of the cop car and looks at me and shakes her head, gets back in the car. Cop comes up and he's harassing me, asking me questions. I'm like, what the hell's going on? It's like, oh, somebody robbed this girl leaving the mall with the bank bag just a few minutes ago, and your vehicle matched those.
Oh no.
It's like, okay.
Not me.
But so maybe next time don't point your guns at me. I don't know. Just
Jeez.
that could be cool. Just to not
Make me piss myself right now.
point your lethal weapons toward at my head.
How
While
about
you're
some-
all amped up thinking you just got some fucking tea.
I know. Why don't you start with a taser?
Like, why don't you start with
Hey, your car matches the
asking me-
description, but you don't really look like the guy.
Right.
What's going on? That's what I don't understand. Cops just go right for their guns.
Yeah,
It's like they have other shit on them.
Yeah. So, pretty spooky.
I was smoking weed in my car one time waiting for my friend to come out of her house, and it was like a dark, dead-end street in Altoona, in a nice little neighborhood. I was in my black Scion TC, and I had my lights off because it was nighttime. I didn't want to shine in everybody's windows, and I was waiting for her, and this cop just rolls down the street, and I'm just like, oh no! And, my window, like my automatic window was stuck, and it wouldn't roll down, and I had to get out of the car
Oh, shit.
and I so slightly slipped myself out the tiniest crack of the door, and
Right.
I'm just waiting for my friend. She didn't say anything. I'm like, thank Christ. I've never ever been in trouble. I've never been arrested ever.
Well,
All of the bad shit I've done though.
you gotten away with it all.
I have.
Mm-hmm.
Never happened, Jack. Never happened.
Right. Can't prove a thing.
There's a female cop too. I'm surprised she didn't bust me. Little
Yeah,
bitch.
sometimes they're a little meaner.
I know.
They just feel like they gotta maybe be a little meaner. Cause...
The only female cop in Altoona, one of the very few ones, and everybody called her Iron Tits.
Mm-hmm.
It's here working out around town, and she just weights strapped up everywhere. And you're like, there's Iron Tits.
Oh man.
Sounds like a cool supervillain.
Yeah. Iron tits.
There's your painting, your drawing.
Huh? Yeah.
So there's
my
your new
next-
drawing.
my next- What would her superpower be?
Ooh, I don't know. Shooting bullets out of her nips.
Okay. I'm liking that.
That's the first thing that came to me. I'll come up with something a little better though. I was picturing a police light on her head, just spinning around all the time. Here she comes.
Like the red.
Yeah, the red and blue, just light that they pop on their
Yeah.
heads, strapped up on her head. These giant iron tits. Police brutality is what you can call that painting.
Maybe she takes it maybe her tits are removable and she uses them like wrecking balls.
Yeah.
Like she could throw it like
On
a
the
bowling
chain, what is
ball,
that?
or it'd have like a mace.
Yeah.
Spin them around on a chain. Yeah. Knocked out by a big titty.
A flail. Isn't that
Yes.
there?
Flail
Just trying
titties.
to flail
We're onto something.
I think we are. I'm gonna have to come up with a whole team.
Yeah. The whole Super Tits team.
Her tits do this, and her tits do this. and her
Right,
tits
yeah.
do it.
Maybe they'll have magic tits. Okay, yeah.
It's
I'm
like
liking this.
Justice League, but it's
Like-
Justice Tits.
Yeah, Justice Tits.
Just tits.
Just
Tits.
I get it. I like that. Yeah, I think that's a winner. I'll call Marble after the tattoo.
Alright, cool. Maybe we should call a porn industry.
Right?
Yeah,
It
I think we're
would
gonna
be
hit
pretty
big with
damn
that.
good, too.
That's hilarious. Hi.
There he is.
You don't have to wear that.
Well, yeah. You don't have to if you don't want to.
All right, take care. I'm off all day tomorrow. Give me a try tomorrow.
I'm gonna take a break after you do this one.
All right, bye.
Thank you. I'm tired of pulling my shirt up. I'm gonna change this whole thing. It's hot out, isn't it?
It's very hot out. Job site we're on too has no trees, no shade, no nothing.
You're right. It
Okie
was
dokie,
not
out
a
of
good job
Joe.
today. Ah!
Dropping your stuff.
I know. Here, that's yours. I'm gonna go back and change.
So, a brief break, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, 10-minute book review said, "How is she so calm? Oh my God, I'd be dying."
She's
has an insane pain tolerance.
she's a machine. I've tattooed her for hours and hours and hours, and it really takes a lot for her to even say, "Ooh, that kind of hurts."
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean, like, for the only thing she said really pertaining to the
tickled.
tattoo today was that it was tickling her. It's like, oh, tickle.
Yeah, when she got her epidural.
She said that was awful.
Yeah, but she
She
didn't
just
even flinch. She was like, "Ah, shit, that hurts." And I
Do
mean,
you
if
wanna-
you saw the needle.
You
right.
should lift up the end of that and let that cord just fall underneath.
What? Oh yeah, you could run it under there. Now that we're, I'm gonna go hit the toll. There
There we go. So then that just makes this one. Oh, there's two people watching right now. No, it's hot outside. It's almost like it's summer. I'm just saying, it's just because we were all stuck inside. We never had a spring.
Oh, my work hasn't been shut down. I'm a landscaper. Oh,
You've been working the whole
the
time.
whole time. Yep. Last week was kind of rough. There was a day where it was like 94. There wasn't a single breeze.
If you just tuned in, we are waiting. They're taking a short break, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Did you hear what one of the comments said? How is she so calm? Oh my God, I'd be dying.
Yeah,
Where we starting?
the bottom.
So
Feel it in, like, in
Same
the
layout,
layers.
but with color, not the brown. That the
No,
image
I'm not
has.
doing any of that brown. We're gonna just do like floral
Floral.
stuff around it because that I don't want a ton of brown on my back, and there's like a lot of stuff in the background that some of it I just didn't want. Geez, got some Dan hair on this stuff. I don't know why my feet get so hot. I get so hot everywhere except for my feet. It's weird.
It's the last place you have blood.
I guess.
That's where your blood goes to cool down.
That's why if you get hot under the covers, you stick your feet out.
That must be why I could never have clothes on my feet.
Plus, there's a thing about when you sleep, your water goes back through your feet and all kinds of other things.
Yeah.
There's like some strange stuff that happens.
wardrobe change complete.
It is.
All right.
Yeah, that's a lot. So we're back at it.
We'll leave that for you. Just underneath it. There you go. Perfect. This job's okay for now, but I'm always out of money, and minimum wage just won't cut it. That's why I enrolled in Lincoln Tech. I'm going to have a real career. These old.
I can't get a good job because I don't have a college education.
Yeah, right.
I can't get a college education because I don't have a job.
Uh-huh.
I'm just thinking of Ricky Bobby quotes. You know, too big red. Fuck you.
It was this Lincoln Tech was a college that would like teach you welding and mechanics and
Yeah, mostly
stuff
like diesel
UTI.
mechanic,
Yeah.
over the road trucker.
I always laugh. UTI. I'm like,
like
Weird and
jobs
random.
that pay you like super crazy good, and you really don't have to have like a lot of extended
Education.
school. Yeah.
Air vac specialist.
Yeah, HVAC and
Or HVAC.
that shit.
Yeah. I told him to bring a bunch of his GoPro stuff because I was like, you should just put a GoPro on your head and then there you go. Around your beard. And
Jack has two. He just doesn't know where they're at right now.
that's why I told him to bring this shit. So if he
Yeah, I
wants to
guess
try
he's got
anything out.
some knockoff ones or something. How long have you had them?
Probably like
There's just a ton of shit there.
2-3 years. I used them maybe 3 times.
Yeah.
I mainly put them on a waterproof case and then extended pole, and then I would try to sight find brush piles in the water
Yeah.
to find my fish, to find a good spot.
Scouting.
Mm-hmm. And I also wanted to do what do they call it? Magnet fishing.
Yeah, they had those. They had a specialty camera that was like a lipstick camera that you could drop down.
Right.
I can't remember what they were called. You could drop them right down into whatever the habitat was, and they would like, it would, and then you could turn it around back and forth.
Okay.
They weren't cheap. They're kind of like,
Can't imagine.
they're kind, and I wonder how good they work. They're kind of like I had the radar that came on that you could use on a pole.
I had one.
After about a year, it just stopped working.
Oh, really?
Never worked again.
I had one. It was shaped like a little submarine.
Yep.
Cast
That little
out.
bobber submarine thing.
Like 4 casts out, got hooked up, and I was shore fishing. Could not get to wherever it was. I had to call it quits on that one.
Yeah, I never lost one. They just stopped working. But then again, I never really like catching. I like fishing. Catching involves cleaning and then eating the fish.
Lately,
And usually the fish I catch, I don't want to eat.
I've only done catch and release the last couple of years. I only mainly do catfish, so I don't care.
And the fun of it is just sitting on the bank. Well, hopefully with someone you like to be with, and just sit back and doing
A lot of
nothing.
beer.
Yeah,
Lots of beer.
drink some beers and just relax and carry on a conversation.
She usually brings a buck and sits under some shade or gets some sun or something. Last time we went fishing, we were just down in Missouri last weekend, and we went fishing. We were out for a few hours, and just it's nothing.
Yeah.
I think it was too hot.
Really?
Yeah. Because like when we were swimming, did you notice that like about 6 feet down it was real cold,
Yeah.
and the top layers, I mean, it was tropic water, easy 72 degrees.
Yeah, I like swam down a little bit and it was freezing
Yeah.
in the lower layers of water when we came up to the surface.
But we were night fishing.
Got burnt.
Still wiggles.
I'm sorry. I'm sweaty.
You need some towels, like paper towels.
I'm good.
That's what I thought.
Let's fill up.
It was good. We
Drop Philip.
walking around with no shoe. Didn't bark when I left.
Yeah, I didn't put him in the stand.
I didn't see any messes in the house. We got a puppy.
Until about. So don't go into it.
We've already covered that part of the plot.
Just kidding, I love you. Never leave me. Never die.
They die. You just get one that looks like it. It'll have a completely different personality because usually it's my experience of people that get like purebred, especially purebred dogs. They try to replace the dog they really loved, and it always is a total jerk.
Right.
Like every time.
I got lucky with Archer. I got Archer's nephew. His brother had a litter. a litter and got his nephew out of there. Man, he is just he's even better, I think, than Archer was, just behavior wise and everything. He's just like him, but even more just kind of loyal and listens really good. And so I got lucky, but yeah, because you never know. They're just like people, you know. Even two brothers can be different.
Raised up exactly the same way and everything
Yeah.
else, and then one's a little bastard, and the other one's perfect angel.
Yeah.
That's what my mom called it. So,
You little bastard.
yes.
I guess that.
Jonathan's the prodigy child. In the name of the
I'm Jonathan. I'm an angel.
and
Fart. That's Fart.
Especially how
His brother, and then when I'm in the Netflix profile, I set it to the image I put as this like redheaded kid that I don't even know what show it's from, but he's just going like this. And he's got a full head of red hair, and then I set it as that picture and put.
Oh,
Fart
what is that
underneath
show?
of it. I don't know.
it looks like
It's
the-
set in the
like a zoo
70s.
kid,
Is
what
it?
looks like.
Yeah, he's like redheaded, freckled.
Yeah. Kind of a chubby little face kid. He looks like 13 years old.
Part of the
I
breed.
can't think of the I can't think of the name of the show. There's like 9. It's like
Well,
one of those
it's
shows where
Fart
there's
to
like
me.
7 brothers, and the parents are completely have no control over them, and they all have different personalities. No idea. It's probably canceled by now.
Think so?
Oh yeah,
At least you know what we're talking about.
something I picked up on Hulu and watched one season in an afternoon.
You seen Dave on Hulu with Little Dicky?
All the
pretty funny.
promo stuff I've seen says I don't want to watch it.
It's pretty funny. You should watch it. I wasn't sure about it because I wasn't
Been
a
watching
big fan of
After
Little Dicky,
Dark,
but he's
was-
funny when he's acting.
What We Do in the Shadows, that's really good.
Yeah, check it out.
And Lodge 60 or Lodge 39 or whatever that is.
I don't
It's
know
kind of
that.
a
Heard of that one.
it's kind of a sci-fi-ish, but just like Big Lebowski type character, and then just all this weird stuff that's kind of going on in the background. It's Lodge something. There's like 2 seasons. I think it's an FX show.
But it's Hulu.
Yeah, and What We Do in the Shadows is hilarious. But you should watch the movie first.
Okay.
It's about vampires,
Oh, we're down.
but it's a
Sure.
comedy.
Oh, really? I don't think
Yeah.
I've ever seen a vampire comedy.
Is that the one that's supposed to be like a reality show?
Yes.
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
That looks pretty funny.
You know, and it's kind of like, it's kind of like Trailer Parks beats like, I don't know, every other reality-based show. It's kind of done in that same vein. Like,
Like real
You
world
forget-
vampires.
yeah, you forget that the camera crew's there, and then they kind of drag them in every once in a while.
That's funny. It's kind of clever.
But they did a movie, and now they got picked up for a season. I think they have 2 seasons, or 1 or 2 seasons.
They did a movie.
Yeah, the movie was first,
Oh yeah.
because I remember seeing it, or renting it, and that's been a while ago.
I wonder how would they have worked that into a movie?
It was like a documentary style
Oh, I
movie.
see. Yeah.
But they're living in Staten Island. And one of the characters is a psychic vampire. He just annoys people to the point where he
That's
just
funny.
sucks their energy. He's a daywalker.
In Staten Island.
Yes.
I love those accents. They're
Really forced.
New York and
Well, the 3 main characters, the vampires, one's from, is like kind of based on Vlad the Impaler, you know, like the whole Dracula.
Mm-hmm.
The other 2 are just kind of like, English, French type people. One's English, and the other one I think is like Romanian. But they all do have the accent.
yeah.
That's hilarious.
I've always read that Judas was the first vampire because he was hung from an oak tree shortly after the biblical shit.
Hmm.
And then when they went to go get him down, he wasn't there. And so the story goes, that's why you have to kill him with an oak stake.
He was cursed by God after he hung himself to live forever. because he gave up Jesus and hung himself.
Vampires for life.
You're a snitch, bro.
70 pieces of silver.
But just because I'm from Hungarian origins, I like the Vlad story. Supposedly he was a really good dude, but just when it came to war, he was not a good dude.
He was a really nice guy.
He had his moments, you know.
As all psychopaths do. They're all so charming, aren't they?
A lot of times they are. Actually. But watch out for those charming guys.
With the dead shark eyes.
I'm pretty sure outside of where my grandma's from, they actually have the graves that have the
Iron cages over
iron
them.
cages over them. Yeah.
It's cool. I'd like to go see that. Must have a bug bite down there. It's itchy.
I wouldn't be surprised how wooded Tommy's is.
You go back out there and get re-ticked up.
I'm telling you, it's because
They love you.
They got sweet corn blood.
Yeah.
We should have brought him some of the boars tests that we got.
Yeah.
A random wild boar ran onto our friend's farm and then
Almost gashed open my friend's leg.
You're evil.
Ran like right by her and yeah, about took her leg out.
In Iowa?
No, they live in
I
Missouri.
was going to say, they usually don't make it that far up.
Yeah,
No.
if they make it here,
I'm like,
we're,
fuck! COVID, now this?
I know wild boars just
Ah.
gashing up people's legs.
They are one of the most invasive species in,
Oh,
They're fucking
North America.
bastards.
and they destroy good vegetation, and it's bad.
And
That's the only reason why I don't.
and because we got rid of all the cougars, they have no natural predators.
Well, it's not only that, but like pigs get loose and then they breed so
Oh, yeah.
fast,
Yeah.
you end up having all these feral fucking pigs running
Well,
around.
their litters are
I think what
huge,
Caitlin
too.
says is that it was a neighbor's
Neighbors.
boar.
Oh, really?
Okay, and she didn't want me to post the picture she had sent me. She's all like crazy about that. She's like, don't post that. My family might see it. But she said that Tommy was scared that it was like a neighbor's pig.
Mm.
And that had
Well,
escaped and
land.
ran on their farm.
If it's on your land and you can't return it, then you should.
Well, if it's coming at me
Actually, he bowed
and
it.
it's gonna kill me, I'm going to kill it.
He bowed it, and it's
Give me my phone. Let me see if I can find that big bloody picture
It's
of
all
it.
butchered up.
It's right there,
in the
babe.
freezer.
Right there. I know I have
Usually,
it on my phone.
usually if they're domesticated, they cut out the tusks.
It's crazy.
This one had tusks.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
We kept some of it.
This one looked like straight up Pumbaa from Lion King.
But on his farm, he's got
And my
23
friend's like
acres.
6'2".
There's,
She's so
three
tall, and
bobcats
this
and
it's
one
hanging up
cougar.
next to her, and
on his land. But
they'll keep the deer population down, though.
you'd be surprised. He created these things called sneak trails,
Yeah.
where he did some, like, what does he call it? He calls it habitat control. And he essentially is forcing the deer to bed in certain areas and use certain trails.
So then the cougars kill them off to.
Right. Yeah. But the bobcats, I think they're too small. And plus, they're solitary. I don't think they
You rarely see them because they
That's
only
what
hunt
I
at
did
night.
recently.
We
Yeah.
could hear them at night because they sound like an
That's
old
what I
lady.
should have
They'll
done.
keep the rodents down.
I got a big
Well,
piece of
he's
chicken
got
and like
a little
fake
over
blood and
200
stuff.
chickens,
I'm waiting for the
and-
rest of
Yeah,
them
we
to
gotta
come
come out of
back.
the chicken.
Chickens screw up.
Freaking nuts, man.
Yeah.
Field
I have
mice
a lot
and
of fun.
rats, they just don't tolerate them around. Same with his guineas. I don't know if you guys have ever
There it
seen or
is.
heard of a guinea, but they're one of the coolest styles there are. It was big.
What the holy?
Mind
Fuck,
you,
that's huge.
mind you,
Yeah.
she's 6'2".
Wow.
Yeah, she's really tall.
Well, that's a big pig.
Yes.
Definitely not something you want to meet on your own.
No.
Especially coming out of a brush pile and you not even having a clue they're there until they're on top of you.
Did you see her face in this picture, Jim?
That's
She's
why-
like,
yeah,
this is really fun, guys. This is so great. Look at her silly face. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's like, okay, I'm done.
I'm in shock.
That's why, yeah. Iowa has some of the safest wilderness in the United States, I think, mainly because there's so little of it.
Except for all this Sasquatch or something. The cornfields.
It's that damn Sasquatch again.
Little squash. Picking on the corn.
I was about to say, we call them Southsiders.
Sassy bottoms.
That's where Jimmy Two Tooths works, or lives. Two Cheeks.
Down south, they actually do call them wood boogers. That's their name for
Oh, the swamp Sasquatch.
For the swamp Sasquatch, they call them wood boogers. Because it's their version of the boogeyman.
Himalayas, they're Yetis, I guess.
Abominable snowmen.
Yes.
That's good.
Yep. I've seen one once at Disney World.
I don't know.
Almost set off a fire sprinkler system today. That was fun.
A what?
Fire sprinkler system. You know, when you
Oh, yeah.
catch a fire that comes from the ceiling.
No, I'm picturing you outside, so
No.
that confused
I
me.
went to go do a backflow test at a property, and the guy gave me the wrong closet. And so when I went and turned off the backflow to do the test, the alarm started going off
Nice.
on the fire sprinkler system.
That's
I put that bitch on real quick, and I called the boss, and I was like, "Am I okay?"
Ben show up to work today?
No Skylar. We're working.
Ben's got COVID, though, for sure.
No. I think he drank on Sunday.
He's drinking again?
Just
Uh-oh.
he's been drinking beer. As long as he's not on the sauce, he's alright.
Yes, that's true. Kind of miss it, though.
Yeah, he's a freak. He's
I kind of miss him. Miss drunk Ben. How many good stories? I don't have no more stories and stop drinking.
So where are we going to set up Q&A? Are we going to do it like we did the last time, or should we do it in the studio room?
Probably be quicker and easier in the studio room, wouldn't it?
Yep, you just got to move my new screen out of the way.
And then next time we can set up in there. We have a little more time.
I did get the frame for the green screen.
Yeah, I saw that. That's cool.
Does make it a lot tighter, so that'll hopefully alleviate some of that shadowing.
Yeah. I saw that.
But it's too big for the frame, so
Oh,
I had to fold over one side.
yeah, that fucking green screen's giant.
Oh, it's over. It's it's twice the height.
The piece
And
of artwork that he did.
that's been there for a long time. Yes, it has.
since right for Christmas, right?
Something like that, yeah.
Maybe my back was turned to it last time. I just didn't see it.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I feel like I was facing this way when I got my shark done.
Last time we were here, it was definitely there. When were we here?
Not observant. Maybe I was too stoned. Ooh, itchy.
Hitting some spots.
Itchy spots.
It's all the nerves reacting to it. Doesn't know exactly how to do it. It's like, is it pain or is it agitation?
Yeah.
I'd say it's sciatic runs right through there, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does, Graham. Had a lot of issues with that when I was pregnant.
Yeah, growing a life's hard work.
No, I didn't know I was pregnant till 3 months along, and then I got a C-section, and it was boom, everything was savored and saved, and I didn't have to deal with live birth.
Uh,
It It was great. I
Still a
was
lot
blessed,
better.
straight up blessed.
Cheater.
I didn't have any like morning sickness or no nausea, no nothing, no issues, like just the sciatic nerve issue, and that was it. It was amazing. So I'm like, one and done. Next one's probably gonna be a shitstorm if I ever do it.
But once you have a C-section, they continue to use it. They call it the zipper club.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what my doctor told me. That was candid of you.
Well, it used to be. That was prior to like the 70s. That's the only way they'd let you have a hospital birth for
They used to
years.
just do it all the way down, but they just do it one little
As soon as
guy.
they figured out how to do it and not kill the woman, they were like, "Oh, this is the best way to do it."
It was insane. I mean, I watched the whole thing, and
Where they settled the organs up and everything.
yeah, when you see
I
live
wanted
organs,
to take a video. I wanted to see it.
I'd be sitting there going, "Can I touch that?" I always
I
wonder what
tried
that
to
feels
take
like.
a video, and as soon as they saw I was,
Pretty good evidence if
they
anything went wrong,
shut
you know?
me down. They're like, "No videos. You took pictures."
Because they're worried about malpractice.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sketchy.
No, they make errors all the
No.
time. There's no way around it. They're human.
No, they're human, but it's been good.
See, I don't like people videotaping me piercing because I'm afraid that it's going to lead to some idiot thinking they know how to do it.
Oh, yeah.
Because
You can stick a needle in someone?
if you watch somebody pierce,
Easy.
it looks easy. Tattooing a little bit more complicated because there's the artistic side of it. I mean, I guess if you were just tracing one straight line, maybe not, but even that would be a lot more complicated than putting a needle through. Visually, it looks.
Wish I would have videotaped getting my septum done the first 6 times.
6
That's
times.
6 times.
Yep.
I
Yikes,
fucking hate
what?
septum.
Three through the hard cartilage and 3 through the soft.
Why?
Cause
They fucked it up that bad?
Nick fucked it up horribly.
Nick from
Expo.
Expo? Yikes.
I was a teenager.
He was a lot of fun when I worked at Daytona's. I'll man the bar.
But that'd be a good example of how not to do it.
Hey, ladies, do you guys need a ride home? No, I have a car.
Is
Thanks.
it true that everybody has a deviated septum?
I know,
It's
it's just necessary.
depends.
Everybody's is shaped differently. Everybody's nose is crooked. They are one of the worst piercings to get straight. It drives me nuts. I hate doing them.
Oh,
I
yeah,
hate
mine
seeing
was-
them on other people. Because I always look at them and go, it's crooked.
For about 3 days, I was able to wear a cigarette through my nose, and then it just
Gee, man.
was.
Yum.
I've had it out for almost.
They usually won't
7
close.
years. No, I can still fit
Yeah.
at least an 8 in there.
Those and VHS or VCH are the two that generally don't ever close.
BCH.
Vertical clitoral hood.
Eek.
And then I tried stretching my tongue so I could stick a straw through it, and someone could.
I had mine all the way to 2 gauge.
That's about the size of a straw, yeah. So that's where I was headed.
Took me about 3 years.
I initially wanted to split my tongue.
I just have a big
then
mic.
I
did
I'm
did my
happy.
research at that point, but prior to that,
It
that's why I was
amazes me
stretching.
how many people out there are doing stuff like that after all the warnings.
Yeah.
Because there's no way to do it without stitching it closed.
Oh.
It will tend to your body wants to reconnect the tissue.
It makes me hurt.
Well, it should.
Phantom pain.
And if you ever watch somebody get it done, it looks extremely painful.
It's not, and they sit there and kind of like soft.
You have to saw through the tissue. I mean, you're cutting, trying to separate 2 muscles with this huge amount of tissue in there.
Evenly.
That makes me cringy.
And not everybody's as even on both sides, so you have to really pay attention to that. Now, it's not something I advise people doing.
You know,
What
And
about
it-
those
and
like,
you-
people that get the elf ears? That's crazy. That looks
that's just.
so wild.
See, and
Stitching up
the
your-
amount of attention that kind of stuff gets, including the tongue splitting, you would think there's thousands upon thousands of people out there doing it. There aren't.
No,
No.
It's the same photo of the same person over and over again.
it's different environment. And
Yeah.
Stuff, different hairstyle.
You know, it's
It's huge in the cosplay industry, though. But that's probably.
but I really have to say that is that any different than somebody getting a breast implants or calf implants or tummy tucks or
I was thinking about some
anything.
calf implants.
Yeah, it comes down to personal opinion between modification and.
It would look like Wonder Woman.
and see it kind of puts it in the situation where if the plastic surgeons wouldn't be so evidently against doing procedures like that, they would probably, it wouldn't be an issue.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
they
why don't
are
you see
adamantly
a
against it.
doctor?
One of the problems of changing the structure of the ear is it can impact your hearing,
Yeah, it's changed
especially
a certain way.
especially even like large like dermal like one conchas will
Huh.
affect your direction, your ability to tell what direction it's coming from. Also, it can mess with the structure of the ear and cause it to collapse.
Wild. I didn't know that.
Which ends up looking a lot like cauliflower.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Your ears are meant to be flexible and they're meant to take a lot of abuse, but if you kind of start cutting out the structure that holds it there, over time it's gonna fall apart.
I noticed that with my vertical industrial that I had running through my conch. I noticed my left ear. I always had to turn towards some kind of ear.
And that's one of the reasons.
My ear was kind of semi-folding a little bit.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah. And then that's one of the reasons I won't pierce with dermals, where you actually chunk out a piece. Is because to me it should be a piercing. To me, a piercing I should do the least amount of impact on the body as possible, to the point that if a person decides they don't want it, that it can eventually close. Of course, they're still going to have scar tissue.
It'd be fun to pierce.
It is sometimes when you're not doing something. That and the ongoing debate over whether or not it's okay to pierce through that cartilage is a.
Right, I have a lot of skincare knowledge, you know. Just start piercing. I already went. I was like, fuck aesthetics.
Only I tell people to use anymore is straight saline.
I grew up around the salt water.
Yeah, basically now we have like Nelbed where it's sterile saline solution, so it's really easy.
Because fresh piercing with some salt in it, not the best thing.
I mean, this is medical grade, 0.9%.
Yeah, I might throw in a facial after.
No, I'm just talking about like that.
Mixing it up.
Paste with the salt and water.
Would you like a
That
mask?
always stung.
Well, you're not. It was supposed to be more water than salt.
Yeah. Well, mine was specifically on my tragus. I had a little bit of a keloid issue.
There probably wasn't a keloid. It went away, right?
After like 3 or 4 months.
Keloids never go away.
Right?
They just get bigger and bigger and bigger.
Until you have to like surgically remove them?
Mm-hmm.
Aren't you supposed to leave the piercing when you have one?
Well, the problem with bumps is you got to figure out exactly what it is, and it can be a number of different things. It can be scarring. It can be basically a pustule, which is like a pimple. But it could be an abscess.
Pastules and pustules?
Yeah. Or it could be an actual abscess or cyst from an old infection. That's why you should never pop them, and that's why you should leave the jewelry in at least until somebody knows what they're doing and looks at it. And in most cases, it's trauma to the piercing that's causing it. Either the jewelry is the incorrect size or shape, or you're sleeping on it, or you bumped it really good. That's why a lot of piercings will do totally great, and then somebody knocks you upside the head, and then suddenly it's like the worst nightmare on the planet. It's basically your body just reacts to that trauma and goes, okay, hey, here we go. We're building up blister-like scabs and scar tissue, and you got to protect yourself better. And then there's just people that are genetically prone to overscarring. And then there's people that are genetically prone to keloiding. But yeah, you know if you keloid because any cut of your body will cause a raised scar.
Kind of depends on your immune system, how that happens, the scarring and things.
It's not so much the immune system, it's your tolerance. Your body's tolerance for foreign objects. That's why some people can heal out surface-to-surface piercings and never have an issue with it. But 99% of the rest of the public, they migrate within, 2 months, 3 months.
I guess that kind of applies to like boob jobs too, of like rejecting that foreign object when they get that.
Well, it's just like your dermal. If it gets caught just right, it's going to start migrating, even though you've had it for years and years and years. Your body just needs that excuse to project because it doesn't want it there. Same thing with any piercing. It doesn't want it there. We're tricking the body into accepting it.
Right.
And the more you baby it, the more you keep crap away from it, the more you take care of it, the less likely you're going to see scarring and problems. But if you're one of those people that takes care of it until it doesn't hurt anymore and sleeps on it and does everything you're not supposed to do, then you're going to have issues. And then sometimes you do everything right and you're at work and it gets caught on something and suddenly you have problems. So it's just one of those things. It's like luck of the draw.
You're high risk, man.
Same with stretching your ears. Your body treats it as a open.
With stretching, it's your body will always try to grow away from the jewelry. Right. So if you give it enough time, it'll get to the point where it's so elastic and it's so loose that it's easy to slide that next size in. The problem is most people don't want to be patient and wait. So they'll overstress it.
Direction, especially when using tapers. I hated seeing cat's ass on the back, blow out
Yeah,
on the back.
they look like cat's buttholes.
Yep. I always knew to alternate directions. Always wait at least 3 months before size. Usually don't skip a size.
That's the other thing is people skip sizes or
that's what I
they
did
try to
with
go
my
up
set.
4 or 5 at one time and all this other stuff, and it's like it's
Have
not
you
a good
ever
idea.
seen those giant spirals that you can like?
Those are
immediately go?
terrible.
I have seen that done, and the first thing
There
I
are
thought-
videos on YouTube of they seem to all come from South America or Spanish speaking or Portuguese speaking country. So it could be Mediterranean too, or Brazil. It could be South America, Central America, or it could be
Hardcore.
even the Philippines. Anyway, they will pierce it with like a 14 gauge needle and immediately put a 12 gauge taper in, then put a 10 gauge, then an 8, then a 6, then a 4, and and it's like you are doing so much damage and trauma, and you're not cutting or expanding, you are just ripping the tissue.
Yeah. You need to have the micro tears.
And there are
That's why I
people
like
out there.
weights.
There's people out there that's like, oh, you pierce it, you pierce a 14 gauge, and then you put a 10, 12 gauge taper in, then you put the jewelry in. And it's like, why do you hurt people? I mean, are you a sadist? Are you doing that on purpose?
Like it.
Well, it doesn't bleed as much. Well, yeah, it's not going to bleed as much, but it's going to hurt a lot more.
Oh, it's gonna burn for a couple days.
Can you imagine a nipple like that?
You got all that scarification that's going on too.
Then you have an
What do you
increased
think
risk
about
of
that,
trouble.
Jack?
I think it's pretty awesome.
I think it looks pretty cool too. I don't want to have it done though. I'll pass.
Yeah.
I'm just
As
touching
fair
up for
skin,
tattoos.
as
Right.
fair skinned as you are, you'd probably have problems getting the raised star anyway.
Yeah.
You basically have to do exactly the opposite of everything you do with a tattoo or a piercing. Pick at it, agitate it, and make it form scars.
Yeah.
Might as well get a brand.
Yeah,
I got a
branding's
really
another.
bad burn on my wrist when I was little. You can barely see it. So probably won't work so well. Like Nessa, she got her scarification done on her arm, and I can't really see it.
And there's two methods. There's the cutting method, and then there's the laser method.
Oh really?
I think the
realized
laser
that.
method stuff looks better because you can do more detail.
I remember reading about Steve Hayworth.
You gotta
Yeah,
like
he's
doing
still
shit
on.
like that to people though. That must be
Yeah.
like.
He doesn't own HTC anymore. I found out.
No.
He sold it, and I guess he's just kind of doing things as he wants to.
He, in a way, I'm not gonna say that I know everything, obviously, but I've always thought of him as someone who thinks that he's a pioneer, which he did do some things that were first of its kind, but he really pushed the boundaries between a medical procedure and piercing and that side.
And part of the reason is he has a family behind him that has a background in medical arts and actually making medical equipment.
He was
And-
known. He had a lot of medieval tools and stuff. That was nuts.
So yeah, there was a lot of knowledge base there that he could draw on that your average Joe on the street didn't have. Well, Dr. Evil got busted for grievous bodily harm. I haven't heard anything more about it. He's the guy that was cutting out sections of people's ears and
Like a
angling
little
them.
puncher.
And they said that no one could consent to it.
Like a shape
So he got
of
charged
your
with,
apartment?
you just cut out this whole upper flat area.
Like those cool little hole punchers in elementary school that
Yeah,
have
but
stars in the hearts.
No, this was literally like the
Scalpeled out.
whole section.
Nice.
Scalpeled out and doing elf ears and a couple other things.
A lot of transdermal stuff too. He was huge into horns and
Yep.
fifth generation donuts.
I
So
think
they-
that's so ugly. I hate that under the
It's
skin.
not for everybody.
It's,
I just
it's for
looks so
certain people.
like why not just put it right on your head? Just have horns.
Every once in a while I get somebody
like
that'll
just growing
contact
under your skin.
me about purling, and I absolutely will not do it.
Oh, the beads, like the lizardy looking stuff.
It's put in
Like
the male
right
genitals is generally what they're
Oh, I
asking
was
for.
thinking like the lizard.
Yeah,
look
you can do
right
that
there.
too.
Oh.
But it's like I don't know how to do sutures because I'm not a medical professional.
Yeah, right. Can't
It's much
inject.
deeper than most of the piercings we do, so there's a higher risk of infection, and you're closing up a wound. Unlike a piercing where it's an open wound where there's a pathway if there is a problem or an issue. It's
And
just a
wouldn't you
lot
need,
more
like
complicated.
anesthesia for that, like a little bit.
No.
That's where Steve Hayworth pushed
Really?
the boundaries, is because he was doing procedures that would have
Yeah.
typically.
Yeah.
But the people he was
Gotta be
also
a dentist
working
or a
with,
doctor.
the people he
Do
was working
injections.
with were insane.
Just prescribe them. Anybody can inject. But
Not
you have to be a
professionally,
licensed
professionally.
professional in that state
Yeah.
to issue a prescription for that medication. And generally the medication
It
hurts
depends
more
on how
than
deep you go, like how deep you're doing your injections. I mean, like people that, I mean, in my field as an esthetician, like if I wanted to do Botox
yeah.
or some shit like that, I'd have to go to nursing school for 2 years.
Yeah, you'd have
Fuck
to be
that.
a licensed RN.
Get your phlebotomist,
Yeah,
which I think is 2 years, isn't it?
I think so. Would you just do that while you did your RN?
I think it's kind of one of
RN
those
is
things.
RN is just a registered nurse, so
Yeah.
they can.
You just
Pretty
do that
much.
at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Just
think
be
it
part of
goes. I think it goes CNA.
Yeah.
Certified nurse, a registered nurse, certified nurse, and then certified nurse practitioner.
Yeah, I was thinking about
Which
it. I'm
is
like,
just
damn,
short
I could make
of-
some bank, and then I'm like,
Short of being a
I don't wanna
physician
do this.
assistant, it's basically the same thing.
But
But it's easier
at
to
that
become-
point, you might as well become a doctor.
Yeah,
How much schooling you've done?
The residency isn't as long,
also
Oh,
something I don't
that's
want to
true.
do.
and they're not as torturous about the residency.
Oh,
Okay, we want you to stay up for 12 hours. Work 12 hours straight. Go
Yeah.
home, get 2 hours of sleep, come back, work another 16-hour shift. It's like, okay, how can anybody rationally do that and not make mistakes? I don't understand what the thinking is.
That's what I
behind
always
that.
thought.
Last time I
How are
broke-
they coherent with the sleep that nurses get?
It's kind of the point, is to get them accustomed to that on-call style life.
Kind of like the military.
Right.
Hmm.
Yeah, when I broke my hand, the guy who came in, as he
How's it
opened the
going?
door, I see him just yawning.
Mhm.
And I was like, oh, this is not really
I don't know how many times I've seen a PA and I'm telling him exactly what's wrong with me and he's agreeing with me. It's just like, without even looking at me.
good. He's so tired.
It's just like, yeah, whatever's going to give me the least
Like,
amount of
sign
work
up for
right now, I'm
$5
happy
for
to
white
just
meat.
go along with.
Let's get you in there. Yeah.
It's like, my back hurts, I need some muscle relaxants.
Don't hear it.
Well, I don't see a history of narcotic abuse, so yeah, sure, we can give you a prescription.
Did you get whiny?
There's no whiners. It's like there's no crying and body piercing or tattooing.
That's right.
Do you get criers?
Not really, no. Not unless they're sad about something.
Oh, like the meaning behind.
You know, get some tribute tattoos where it can be kind of
Yesterday
emotional.
was heavy for that day.
No pain crying.
For that. I tattooed a woman who had lost 2 babies.
Oh,
Damn.
And then I did Love Mom on a gal that lost her mom. So yeah, it was all yesterday. Pretty heavy day.
I was gonna say heavy stuff.
Yeah.
No, with the pain, it's usually kind of a fidgetiness and kind of a screamy yell type stuff is usually the worst you're going to get.
Yeah. I could get some fucking screamers, man.
Yeah, we'd always be like, Ike, have you been taking advantage of that young lady back there? Because it sounds like she's doing something
Oh my god.
very personal and
I
I'm quite
could start-
enjoying it.
I could start mocking him.
Yeah.
Quack, quack.
It's like, yeah.
He'd be tattooing and going,
That's so funny.
I wonder if he's back to work yet. I don't think they've opened up City Walk.
Yeah, I don't know. I wonder.
He one time said he was going to come up and guest, and he never did.
Yeah, he's a big liar. He's too busy making babies. I think he's got 3 or 4 now.
We had 2
Yeah, 2
when he
girls.
left, and I
He
want to
had
say there was a
little
3rd
boy.
on the way, wasn't there?
Yeah, he's got a little boy and 2 little girls. I almost think he had another one, but maybe he didn't.
Tax refund.
Stimulus money is what we've been seeing mostly.
You get so much more for tax credit versus that stimulus.
Oh yeah, no, I get screwed on taxes every year because I could never claim my kid because I didn't technically have court ordered us. Even though I had him 2 to 3 days a week, I didn't have court ordered visitation.
Well, and you're a man, so it's
Yeah.
your fault.
Oh, yeah.
Well, my job was supposed to be over at the beginning anyway.
Iowa is
So.
a huge mom state.
Yep. And personally, I'm one of those people. If you're short on paying child support and everything, that sucks. But as long as you are active in that child's life and are fighting to be so,
I think the courts should decide, like, if the parent's shitty enough to pay child support, like, great enough. Like,
well, see, that's the thing with it is that
we know you're gonna help anyway.
The interesting thing about family court is it's considered civil court, so you're not allowed or you don't have a right to legal counsel. The other thing is there's no appellate.
You can't appeal? Well, that's not right.
No, they can set it whatever they want.
I mean, that judge could have been biased against your tattoos, and
I had one that got me on the stand and started asking me how much my tattoos cost to get done.
What?
Asked me how much the jewelry was that was in my ear.
That is.
And a whole bunch of other stuff, trying to go on and on about how I was making more money than I was claiming on my taxes.
Wow.
well, shouldn't the IRS decide that and not a judge in a civil matter?
It changed once the state of Iowa got sued over it. But at that point in time, back in early 2000s, up until probably about 2012 or right around in there, they could pretty much set it any rate they wanted to. You could walk in there and go, I only make $500 a month. They go, okay, $500 a month it is. And then you would have to go back and take her to court to have it reduced. So it's just one of those things.
Watch out.
Yeah. It's a cross-eyed bear. Got a great kid out of it. And he's a functioning adult, so.
What's his name?
Quinn.
I like that. For a boy. Sounds smart. Is he smart?
Yeah, he is. And he's an underachiever like his old man. The question on this is whether or not the battery is going to last or if I'm going to have to change it at some point. Because we're hitting almost 2 hours.
Are we just doing the floral area today?
Yes.
Yeah, it's kind of in front of that forest hemp chick on the mushroom. So put this on there, and then we'll put her on, and so wherever it was overlapping this stuff, it'll fall behind and create a little depth and frame it in, all that good shit.
Oh. Look at little Louie, Grant.
No, I don't trust him.
I know, yeah, no way. You can put that in my bag.
Beard's coming in solid.
That's what I told him.
Right? Yeah. So it's usually I shave it by now, but it got pretty long this winter, and I rode my motorcycle, and I could feel the wind blowing through it. And I'm like, oh, that's kind of fun. It's been a long time since I had hair long enough for wind to blow through it. So yeah,
Plus, it'll catch all the bugs instead of your teeth.
right,
Catch all the bugs too, right?
right. Yes, that helps too.
Need the protein too.
Something to eat for later.
It's interesting because that microphone is really picking up the motor sound.
There's no prospects in that. You should not do anything like that in Iowa.
What?
My cousin is coming over after I'm done here. I haven't seen her in a really long time. She lives in Kansas City, and she was was like, "Can you find me any blow?"
Ugh.
And I'm just like blinking really hard right now, like, no, like, especially in Iowa, like, don't be doing shit like that here. Oh, ma.
I do know
I know, right? Jesus Christ.
a lot of
It's nice to see you again too, Gavin.
Valley graduates, but I don't know if
First time I saw Coke was at a Dowling.
If you want to get
Valley
stoned,
Valley,
I can provide that.
Yeah.
After party,
Say
yeah.
what?
We
If
crashed.
you want to just get
That's
stoned
how
and
it
like
was
Right.
in
watch
high
a
school.
funny movie or something,
I went
like
to
I'm
Roosevelt,
down.
And Roosevelt had
Couple shots,
a mixture
but
of things,
Right.
but if you wanted
Partying
some
hard
powder,
for
you
me.
that's
went
about
to
as
Valley
far
Kids.
as my partying goes.
Right.
But now, I
A
mean,
little
with
ketamine here and
how
there.
much
Right, yeah.
fentanyl goes around now. Did you hear about that cop in Boone? He arrested someone who had some substance,
Yeah.
Oh,
and he
God.
forgot to put gloves on. And when he touched the bag,
Man.
30 minutes later, he dropped dead at the precinct.
Yeah, that fentanyl is not to
Scary.
be played with.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's made for horses.
I ain't shooting anything up my nose.
Well, not entirely, but it
My
is used
mother was on
practically.
fentanyl patches.
Yeah, that's the thing. But
She was seeing angels, aka hallucinating, and wouldn't tell us because she was afraid the angels would go away.
Oh God.
But yeah,
Yeah, they
it's not stuff you want to mess with. It's very effective if it's used correctly. But when
People
you
use it
boil
for
that
sleeping,
stuff,
don't they?
what?
People use fentanyl for sleeping, don't they?
Mostly pain.
yeah, it's
Pain?
a huge pain.
Basically, you put a patch on it and it's time released,
Yeah.
and it comes in like four or five different dosages. Problem is they are cutting the powder substances inside the pouches
Get it out.
with various other drugs to make it seem more potent. The other problem is that one of the methods is to try to distill it using a coffee maker.
Ooh. There was a handful of kids that I
It'll-
graduated
it's
with,
not-
and there was probably like 6 or 7 of them that overdosed in a matter of 2 weeks last summer.
Southeast Pope.
Yeah. And East, they're from East too.
I guess there's a huge roach problem at East now.
Hasn't there? I feel like that school's always kind of been dirty.
No, wasn't when I went there.
Really? That's how
Um,
long? When was
from
your
what I
graduating
understand,
class?
the 87.
87?
From what I understand, the hissing cockroaches they were keeping as pets and in a lab broke loose and bred with
Oh shit!
natives, and now they're just
Oh
completely out of control.
no! Oh, what a
Well,
nightmare.
right now would be a good time to bug bomb it.
Yeah, they're closed
Well, I
for 6 months. So yeah, just fumigate the heck out of the
Put
entire
like
building.
circus tent over it. Our house looks like a circus tent. If I was a kid, I'd just run right in that thing.
Where are the clowns? Why do I see all these funny colors? Why can't I breathe?
It's a baby cockroach.
Or like Dwight Schrute drops the bug bomb.
Oh yeah.
It blows up his face.
It's been a while since we binge watched The Office for the 12th time.
The 15th anniversary is today.
Really?
No shit.
I saw something on TikTok.
God damn you.
I heard that some of the cast was gonna try to get together to do
What a
some
baby.
type
A little
of
baby over there.
show.
Teenager. Has TikTok.
Yeah, I think. Well, I always like the English version better.
I
Oh,
never
yeah.
watched it.
I tried to watch the other
I
one.
couldn't
and
watch
it
the
was-
American one that
it was
one,
rough.
especially because it was just like. It's like when they try to do like Red Dwarf in America.
What's that?
Never seen Red Dwarf.
Mm-mm.
It is a science fiction comedy show from the
I said the
UK.
Star.
They used to show it on Channel 11 right before Doctor Who.
Another show I never watched.
It's an acquired taste. The newer ones are better as far as, but the old ones, it's just like, yeah, I know how they made that prop.
Oh, great. Really cheesy looking.
Yeah, it's like a trash can, plunger, you know, that kind of stuff. Put a few salad bowls
I
on
don't
it on
even
the
think I know what
side.
it's about.
All of a sudden,
It's about a guy that time travels and space travels named Doctor Who.
Okay.
But that's not really his real name is Doctor Who, or it's not. It's one of those things. And basically, he has adventures with people from planet Earth, and
So like Bill and Ted's
They keep-
Excellent Adventure.
they keep running into. It was originally designed to be a kid show in the 50s, and it got a
Oh.
huge adult following. It was a major thing in England. And then the original star actor thought that he was set for life. and tried to renegotiate his contract. So they came up with the concept that the doctor could regenerate and hired another actor. And then it continued well into early 80s, and then it kind of went off the map, and then they started remaking it.
Yeah. And tooting your horn into the back.
Right.
Very geeky, especially the old ones. But a huge part of like English pop culture.
Mm-hmm.
So Red Dwarf's like this guy that he ends up in stasis because he brought a pet cat on a starship. Okay, so he gets in trouble and he goes into stasis. The entire crew dies in some nuclear accident. So the computer shuts down and waits until it's no longer radioactive, which is like 1,000,000 years.
Oh God.
During which time the cat evolves into like a human-like form. And so he brings it back online. He's trying to get back to Earth, but he's like 1,000,000 years away from Earth. And his only companions are the cat and this hologram of this really obnoxious roommate he had.
That's hilarious.
And it's just the adventures they go through. They get a robot at one point.
Did you get into the Lost in Space series that they tried to
Yeah, I think the new one's pretty good.
I thought it was really
watched
good
the
too.
original one on television, so
Oh
as a
my
kid.
gosh, the movie with my dad showed me that when I was a kid. When you're younger, everything looks so much
And so that was an ongoing
so
joke
much
when we
more
were out.
real. When
When we were out somewhere and somebody's about to do something stupid, we used to do the danger. Danger, Will Robinson.
Danger, Will Robinson. Yeah. I thought that was really cool, though. It sounds just like it, and I liked how they took a lot of cool stuff. Like the doctor, I thought, like how they made her female. She's cool. I think
But she's a good actress.
She is.
Who really
She
hasn't
reminds
done
me
that
of,
much
She
lately.
plays a good crazy
Mary.
bitch. Oh, Elizabeth Banks.
Elizabeth Banks, yeah.
Yeah, she does kind of look like her.
Just
A little bit more rough.
She was part of
around
that
the
whole
edges.
like Breakfast Club period.
Yeah,
of
she
John
was
Hughes movies.
She was. What's her face?
The oddball one.
yeah.
Can't remember. She something. Sheena. I can't remember her name, but yeah.
That's why I liked the Jurassic Park in the 90s. It's because all of the animatronics,
Eat
you could
my
tell that
Shorts.
a lot of thought went into it.
What'd you say? Eat my shorts.
That's another day. Good. You want another one? Bring it on.
Please.
Good. You got another one.
Fine.
Smoke up, Johnny.
I love that movie.
What was his name? Jeb?
Judd?
Judd. Judd
So hot.
This feathered hair.
I know. I love that kid in Weird Science, though. Weird Science will always be one of my favorites.
That's
She's
an-
alive.
I always get him mixed up. Is he the guy that went on and played Dexter, or is it the other guy that played a nerd in all the John Hughes movies?
Oh, the Michael C. Hall?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is
I
Michael
think
C.
that
Hall
was-
in Breakfast Club? Or
No,
is it the
I
other
think
guy?
he's in in Revenge of the Nerds.
He's 16.
Mm.
He is. I love Dexter.
That's an alright movie.
I love that show. It was my main show when I was in high school, and sat on my couch, smoked a bunch of weed, watched Dexter.
I don't know. Right
While all
now,
my friends were getting pregnant.
right now, the Happy Madison production company is producing a lot of
Yeah, we just talked about Ron
good
Missy.
ones. Well, there's the
That
Ron.
terrible movie.
What?
In the terrible Jim movie.
Yeah, we just watched Uncut Gems and we were talking about how bad it was.
Yeah, it wasn't very.
Very anticlimactic.
Yeah. I mean, I don't like it when movies show you the ending.
Just
At the
one
beginning.
big middle part. There's no like rising action. Just a bunch of bullshit.
Dude's just in the shitstorm the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
And he's an annoying.
Oh man, I couldn't.
And you have no sympathy for him because he just keeps doing it over and over again.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like, okay, you're free of. Oh, no, you're going to do exactly the opposite of what you should do right now.
Guess it's just like a big movie of the dangers of gambling.
Yeah.
Or
not paying your dues.
Which is the dangers of gambling.
Yeah, because you always think you're gonna
Win
Win.
big.
Chasing that next win.
it's chasing after the big score.
With
That's
your mom and
just
some criminals at the slots.
Not
I bet she is fiending so hard to go back to Prairie
she
Meadows.
wants that
I thought they opened it.
Did they?
Yeah, they haven't opened the tables yet though.
Mm.
They opened the boat down home.
Yeah, they opened the slots because they can do that easily.
Shut her
They just
mom.
shut down 3 slots or 4 slots between them.
Yeah, Space Mountain.
She's so good at this. I don't know how she does it. I went with her the first time that I could go to the casino. And I won like $1,500 with her on the slots.
I think you were only like maybe $20 in on the,
Yeah.
on the nickel
And
machine.
she just like knows exactly which ones to go to, like when to stop. She's like slot machine.
It's all random. There's no method
Savvy.
to it.
There's not, but it's
A monkey could
every
win
time
money
she goes,
playing
she wins
shots.
thousands of dollars. And I
She
don't
always-
understand it.
But how much does she blow without telling you?
Well,
That's the thing with-
Typically, she
Only when I
takes
go
about-
with her, she gives us like $200 a piece, and then
Yeah.
she walks out with so much fucking money.
Yeah.
And I sit with her the whole time. Like
she just goes to machines that have a high
we just sit
jackpot.
there and smoke together, drank.
Their
Sounds
drinks
cool.
are so expensive.
I know,
It
but they
used to be
really
free.
fill them up with alcohol.
Really?
Though I watch them do it.
Like the alcoholic drinks.
They
for
really
free.
hook you up.
Shit, now it's like
What did
$6
Gavin
a
say?
beer.
What did you say to her?
I didn't see them.
You didn't?
No.
I haven't been out there in ages.
I want to get her hopes up with no reply. I'm like cooking. Sorry, girl. Should have brought your own.
Oh, she must have an iPhone.
What?
Because she
Oh,
loved,
liked a message.
she loved it.
She's with me right now.
Battery diet. My gut's in the way. Oh, it didn't die. It's just
This isn't bad at all.
I have a lot of trouble bleeding that
Why?
because I think tattoos suck.
They're not bad. Not at all. You're gonna have a lot of fun then getting your underarm done.
Have you been tattooed with a rotary though? The
Yeah.
arm machines? I think they're a lot better than the old bangers.
The ones that you can't really, you have to talk over.
Yeah, it's basically like having a leaf blower.
Yeah.
Brain.
A few years ago, I saw one. I swear it was air compressed.
They had air-powered tattoo machines for a while.
Oh, okay. I hadn't seen one before, and I had just randomly saw one one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yep. Numa.
I'm gonna stretch a little bit when you're done.
Just push the.
I'm gonna crack my back really bad.
It's a good deal though. No,
Well-
no lower back rubs for at least a week.
Oh, but you keep you around to put ointment on it. I continued to date a woman for a while till my back got finished. Broke up with her right afterwards. So, yeah, we can stream for 2 hours on one battery. Seems to be about the cutoff.
That seems pretty good.
Are you all done?
No, we're still doing it. Is he done? Getting impatient?
Not for tattoos. I get impatient waiting for my appointment.
Mm.
I just want to be covered. I just want to be like a big illustrated piece of person.
You got plenty of space left.
Oh yeah.
It's easy to get completely tattooed very quickly. It's hard to get tattooed completely with good ideas. I've seen so many people at bodysuits, and it's like, well, you were just in a race, weren't you?
That's what I feel like Justin Bieber's tattoos look like. Like he just got them all in one day and was like, just picked a bunch of shit off Pinterest. All this black and white stuff looks real gangster. Let's do it.
I'm trying to toughen up my image.
Right.
And then you have those rare.
Now he looks like Frank from fucking Shameless. He looks rough. He looks rough.
Some people though, like
It's that
you can get a whole wrinkle in a
stash.
day.
It's like that creepy stash that he has. Didn't James Corden try to get him to shave it off? Got that
Oh yeah.
on the Spill Your Guts. I love that show. It's so funny. Have you seen that? Spill Your Guts
No,
with
I don't
James
think
Corden?
so.
Oh, you gotta look up a couple of videos that he has celebrities on, and he has just a bunch of nasty shit that you have either have to answer like an unanswerable question. So he'll ask the celebrity something that they don't want to answer on camera, and you have to answer the question or eat like the cow balls and or bird spit. It's so gross. It's so funny though.
So it's basically for...
Yeah, either or. Yeah, they do give them bugs sometimes.
So true for dare.
It's good though. They've got Will
That's
Ferrell,
pretty much
like Kim
what it is.
Kardashian, Justin Bieber on there. They've got who else have we watched?
A lot of people. Those are just our favorites.
Well, I mean, it's got to be hard to go from being like one of the most recognizable stars in the world and top of your game and everything else, but you're relying on teenagers as your fan base, and then you grow out of that. You know, what do you do with the rest of your life?
Yeah.
That's why so many of them end up in
commercials.
rehab and...
Jesse Carter.
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter.
Aaron Carter was the one that
He had a good one song.
he just got a real dope face tat. That
Yeah.
not so dope. Didn't you tell me that when stars are aging out or not making as much money, they're just like popping up in commercials like Jeff Goldblum?
Yeah.
Well, I used to refer to it as the balloon payment movies.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, oh yeah, the mortgage is due. The balloon payment on the mortgage is due. I guess I'll do that that terrible B comedy, at the beach or whatever. Because you'd see these like major, really talented actors in really terrible movies.
Mm-hmm.
Probably the worst of all of them was Dennis Hopper. I think he never knew how to say no. Because he was in some really great movies, and he was in some really terrible ones. Harvey Keitel would be another one. So is Robert De Niro.
Bob Roode.
I just saw a good one with Robert De Niro in it.
Billy Bob Thornton.
Yeah, but he made that Mario Brothers movie. It was terrible.
I haven't seen that.
Yeah, he just played Plumber in 2. That movie and Brazil. Brazil's kind of a weird 80s movie. But yeah, it's like, yep, career was shifting, or you needed some money quick, because I don't know why you did this movie.
Did I see you on a herpes commercial?
I have genital herpes. I got like $4,000 from that
It's
commercial.
great exposure.
I've been making it last for years.
Or you can like knocked up too. Or not knocked up like too, but in
This
addition.
is 40.
No, not knocked up.
Oh, gotcha,
Seth
gotcha.
Rogen was living off of money because he stepped out in front of a pole.
Oh, yeah.
He got like $30,000 and was living off that for like 15 years.
My favorite part in that movie is when that Asian chick goes, "You want to trade boyfriends?" Just kidding.
Not really.
So funny. You were watching my kids on Oxycontin. Oxykitten?
What?
Oxycontin?
Kilby the heroine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's one hell of a documentary. That White's documentary.
Oh, the
Wonderful
Wild
Lights.
Wonderful Lights of West Virginia.
Johnny
Oh, that
Knoxville
shit.
did a good job picking a good family.
Well, it's all because what's his name's tied in with all those old country guys, the whole old country scene.
Which one?
Jesse, the dancer guy, was tied in with like Hank the Third and all those people.
Oh.
So that's why he even knew
He
who that
found them,
was. Yeah.
I like most.
He's the
of
famous of the family.
We've been to West Virginia.
I don't know. Ohio was rougher.
I want to go to Xenia, Ohio, where the movie Gummo was shot. You seen that?
Yep.
Oh my god. What a
We passed.
That was-
weird ass movie. One of the weirdest movies I've ever seen.
That's one of Sean Cran's favorite movies and inspired him for a lot of stuff. In fact, that's why his band was called Dirty Little Rabbit.
Oh, really?
True story. For like the year that came out, it was like everybody he ran into. Have you seen Gumbo yet?
Oh my god. Have you seen Gummo, Jack?
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's a weird one.
Well, the guy that made those films,
Yeah. That kid, oh my god, that main kid in it is just alien. Looks like a straight up alien.
the guy that made that film also made Kids.
Yeah?
Did you ever see that movie?
Yeah. Have you seen Kids?
I've seen a lot of movies.
It's basically about this kid he's obsessed with taking girls' virginity, but he's also HIV positive.
Yeah.
Oh.
Set in New York City, lots of drug activity. I mean, it is not. Yeah, it's not a pretty sight. He's also made a couple like skateboard movies and some other stuff. He's a weirdo. If you want to look up his name, I can't think of the guy's name. Look at some of his interviews of like David Letterman and stuff. He's
Way out there.
yeah. Like I didn't come up with a script. I just told them what to say right there, and that's how I got the movie. Because I guess all that there was no script for Gummo at
And you
all.
could,
No,
yeah, and I would say the same for kids too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just kind of seems like just they're hanging out, kind of talking about nothing, and it's really wild the way it's filmed.
I felt about Uncut Gems, sitting around talking about nothing. I'm like, well, when are we going to get to the next part here?
A24 does a good job with their
They're horror movies.
The horror movies are okay. They're not scary and they're not jumpers.
But they are
It's
extremely, they disturb you to your core. They're not meant, like, the horror movies aren't meant to, like, they don't have jumpy parts in those types of movies, like horror movies.
So they're trying to be uncomfortable, but they're
It's
not.
seen,
more of like
To
a
Kill a-
unsettling kind of horror,
Was it
which I love.
To Kill a Deer?
Oh, Killing of a Sacred Deer.
Killing of a Sacred Deer.
And Black Coat's Daughter is
Black
another
Coat's
one.
Daughter.
It's a good one.
They're real obscure, but they like, I don't know.
I mean, are they like? Well, like if you ever watch Lynch films,
Yeah, they're not. So most of them are like no gore,
yeah.
but
Oh,
well,
Midsummer was pretty
well,
gory.
Midsummer's different.
Have you seen Midsummer? It's a new one by
Maybe.
Ari Aster. He did Hereditary
Yeah.
with Toni Collette in it. She's badass.
They really have you like, man, I feel like I know a guy like that, and then all of a sudden they just, oh, I read something like that. I don't know where they get their inspiration.
Midsummer has a lot of Viking
Nordic roots. Yeah.
like
Oh, okay.
references in it, and it's like this little civilization that these college kids go to study, and
It's a cult.
a bunch of fucked up shit happens.
It's definitely a
It's
cult.
good.
No, the reason why I was asking about getting easy is like Lynch. That's his whole point.
Yeah.
Is making something pretty and unnerving, and there is no plot to 90% of it. In fact, he'll sit there and go, "What did you think the film was about?"
Yeah. It's all
That's interesting
interpretation.
because it's not really about anything.
Yeah.
I don't want to go outside now.
Make people interpret weird shit.
Eraserhead for 25 minutes straight.
It's open to interpretation.
It's art. It's an art. Cinematic art.
It's painting with film because he was originally a painter, and that's why it's so visually weird and why he has all those weird close-ups. The weird thing that most people don't know is he made the Dunes movie. That was a weird movie, and he also made the Elephant Man, which is like
Good old
you're like, David Lynch made that movie. Then he made Blue Velvet, which is probably his masterpiece. And then everything got weirder after that. But back to the mustache subject. The only band that looks good with a mustache is John Waters. No one else should.
We're all the way back to mustaches?
Right.
I'm working on the curls on mine. I'm not very far in, so.
You don't want to
Go
look
off
tiny.
here. Let me see what I've got under there, and if I need to get it now. Here. And this one.
Legs.
Well, I suppose we better
Great.
set your appointment up and get that finished before I get this. I don't really want to get my arm work done midsummer.
Oh yeah, you're gonna just have a sunburn probably like every other day because of work, huh? Gross.
Sunburns suck.
I was thinking about laying out today. I'm like, you fucking idiot. What are you doing? You getting fucking tattooed today. That'll hurt. Really bad.
The winter, I think, is going to be my time. We're going to set up multiple sessions so I can work on both arms and my
We'll
chest
do it like that then.
over the
From
winter.
now on.
That'll work best. My main job is irrigation, so I get.
Got a little more time. Do you want? We can just call it good. You know, and then next time start lining here, or I'd say we could. I'd almost say we could. I don't want to color it. But maybe do some background shading in there, a little, you know, just some shading in the background to kind of pop things up. Probably take a little, you know, wouldn't take too terribly long, but we've got a little more time. If you want to stretch your legs for a couple minutes, we can do some shading and stuff behind it,
Sounds
or
good.
you can, call it good. But yeah, I
I'm
think
gonna
that'd be
stretch and then we'll
Yeah.
done.
So we're going to do more.
let's take 4. Yeah, I'll do some shading. It probably won't take.
Smoke them if you got them.
How long are we on?
I'm good.
I have you until 7:30, so.
I could tattoo for
Yeah,
hours
right.
and hours and hours. If you want to look at this stuff, you can.
Yeah, what do you got in here?
While we're sitting around.
I could smoke a smoke.
Shit, there's a phone even.
There's a phone even.
And keys? Oh my
Holy
god!
crap.
I'll take it.
Thank you. That's my tip. Did you need a new car?
Just a tip. Of course.
People love tips.
Right?
They don't love tips. They do love tips. They love sex tips. Your dick tip.
All kinds of tips. We got a tip for you.
Can't watch that.
Jeez
That
Louise,
movie,
is that-
Wrong Missy. I can't watch it enough.
What?
It's from that movie.
Oh.
She's like trying to touch his dick, and he's like backing away.
Yeah, right?
She's like, "You're such a bitch.
Oh, let me touch it.
Let me touch it.
Like you just did.
You're such a bitch."
Oh, all right, here we go. There's the camera.
Oh, hey, one leg. What are you talking about? You're gonna lose a leg in 10 years in a terrible motorcycle accident, but then
Right.
you put it on backwards, you're gonna be fucked.
You got fucked. 4K Ultra.
I'm gonna get Nostradamus the fuck out of here.
Got a lot of stuff. Batteries, couple cameras. More freaking mounts you can shake a stick at. Got a bunch of mounts and stuff. Every mount you could ever wish for. Huh?
It slid. Yeah.
Almost as cool as our house now.
I keep mine at 68.
Ours is at 63.
If you cannot hang
And I
me,
really jacked it down because I knew you'd be really hot when you got home.
I want that, that feeling when you come in the house that you have when you turn the air conditioning on in the car.
Quick question: do you have me for 3 or 4 hours today?
I had you till 7:30.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
For how much time did I tell you that I wanted to do today?
I don't care. You want to be done? You can be done.
Not that I want to be done. It's just I have a budget.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
3
yeah,
hours.
if you're good for 3 hours, I'm good with that.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
just stop at 3 then.
Okay.
Cool.
Cool.
All right.
All right.
But
No
we need to
sweat.
Not that
schedule
I'm a baby.
her
I
out
could get
for-
tattooed for 10 hours.
I know you can.
maybe
I'm not a baby.
if you have
It's
any
weird.
openings at the end of July, that should be a month.
Probably. I'll have to look.
A month is enough time.
You
Right?
want some plastic?
I'm not
You don't care?
impartial to either or.
Okay, let me still pretty grungy. Look like you slept in a ditch last night.
I usually do.
Yeah, that's what.
Passed out down there with all the needles.
That's what we call our $3,000 bed is a ditch.
Right, the ditch. That's what she's called, a couch. You're sleeping in a ditch
You're
tonight.
sitting in the ditch, yeah. That's funny.
Tell that to Ben. He'd be like, "Yeah, I've done that a couple times."
Probably just
You
crawling
wanna
over
wipe it
Birdie's
up
room.
and you get a
Yeah.
push up.
Turn your tushy a little more there, and
So we got the outline done for the lower part.
yeah, this is going to be quite a project.
I have to keep track of the hours.
Yeah.
Well, we're at 3 so far.
Full color. It'll be
I like those full saturated pieces.
yeah.
It'll be a big
You're well on your way.
Now the back is one of the biggest canvases of the body.
Yep.
They sound
Second.
good.
Second's probably the thigh, and this one's kind of combining both of them.
Yeah. The thigh is actually, if you were to cut right above your knee and up around your hip and cut down and peel that piece of skin off, it's almost the back.
No shit.
Yeah. Think about all the skin.
I guess so.
It's almost a back piece.
The largest organ.
So yeah.
I understand.
All right, well, thank you everyone for watching.
Thanks, dudes. Hope you enjoyed.
Hopefully we'll do more of these in the future. But have a good day till then.
Well, you are our first live stream person.
Cool.
Don't you feel
Glad I
special?
broke that virginity for you guys.
Yeah, yep, you took it, stole it straight
Stole
from
it
me.
right away. Sorry, I'm HIV positive.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, I'm HIV positive.
Oh, well, that's
And I got herpes
What
and
clubs are
syphilis.
for?